preparation for the start, can we all put those nice bubblers and cell phones and Apples and Samsungs on vibrate, please, so we don't have any phone distractions? Just slip it on vibrate for us right now. Thank you all so much. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this great and yet important occasion. The Coalition of Independence is now hosting its very immediate and important town hall meeting on the issue of illegal immigration. It is a matter that we must discuss. Cannot bury our heads in the sand with it, but without any further ado, let's stand to our feet as we go before the throne of grace and welcome the presence of the Lord into this meeting and this town hall. We are grateful for this opportunity today to come before our King. No matter what we do, if we don't put Jesus Christ in it and involve him in it, we miss it. So let's bow in a word of prayer. Amen. Our Father and our God, we come before you today to give you thanks, praise, honor, and glory. We come before you, O living God, in the name of Jesus Christ, your Son. We call upon your name today, and we ask that you would continue to be pleased with our actions, with our words, our motives, our thoughts, and our deeds. Father, we welcome your spirit into this place. We ask you to have your way. Help us, Lord, to deliberate and bring to pass what you desire for the Bahamas and the Bahamian people. In all things, Lord, we give you thanks, praise, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Somebody say, Amen. 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 We're going to now invite you to remain standing as we sing our national anthem. What a beautiful anthem, one of the best in the world. Now, I am not the psalmist, I'm the preacher. So what I would want for those of us to do is sing together with those melodious voices as we sing our beautiful hymn for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Let's all stand, raise our voices, lift up your heads all together.
Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahama land. March on to glory, your bright banners waving high. See how the world marks a manner of your bearing, pledged to excel through love and unity, pressing onward, march together to a common loftier goal, steady sunward, though the weather hides of wide and treasure show. Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahama land, till the road you've trod leads unto your God. March on, Bahama land.
Amen. Thank you so much. You may be seated in the house. We want to welcome our podium guests at this time. We want to first of all acknowledge the presence of our national Mr. Future Prime Minister in the person of Lincoln Bain. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Bain. We also want to welcome the presence right on time, Dr. Veronica McGyver. You can have your way at the podium as well. Yes, ma'am. Let's put our hands together for the Deputy Leader of the Coalition of Independence in the person of Dr. Veronica McGyver. And of course, we have right here to my immediate left, we have the person of Miss Charlotte Green. And I want to also mention the constituencies that they will be representing. Let's give a hand for Miss Charlotte Green, who is the National Chairman of the Coalition of Independence. Come on, let's get excited and put our hands together. I tell you, we have a team of fighters. Dr. McGyver will be representing the great constituency of Killarney. We have also Mr. Bain, Mr. Pinewood. We taking it. We ain't playing with nothing. Look here, we taking Pinewood. And I've also, yeah, we need to take that. We taking it again. You know, this time make sure it's straight. And then, of course, Charlotte Green, who is representing the great constituent Carmichael. That's how we declaring it. We asking if. All right? Let's put our hands together. My name is Charmaine Adderley, and yes, I am already a minister. God chose to put me as a minister of his kingdom. I make no apologies for that. And so I'll be representing the great constituency of Golden Gates. And I know everybody, what I so love about it is, I'm a woman of faith. And so I love when David got to go fight Goliath. I'm going to have a good time with that one. I say, God, you have your way. This one on you. And so we thank God for that opportunity. For all the candidates who are here. Change ain't coming. It's here really, people of God. Is here for the Bahamas and for those who may be watching us on social media, those who may also be watching us by way of television, and those who are just trying to come here today, who made it a point to be here today. We thank you for giving up your time, your space to come and fight for your nation. Yes, you are fighting. By just being here, you're fighting for your nation. And so when the annals of history look back at this time, what did the Bahamian people do when their country was threatened? We want to look back and say, I was there on the front line standing for my nation. So any patriots in the house today who are here to stand for our beautiful Bahama land. Yeah. You know what, we used to sing a song growing up. This land is my land. This land is, come on, talk to me. From, down to, from the, cross to me. This land, come on, say this land. This land was made for you and me. We have to understand God made this Bahamas for you and for me. So as we get into the program today, what we want to do is, first and foremost, we want to definitely look at some special guests who are here today. And so I'm so appreciative to finally meet many of them. We're going to acknowledge the presence of, he called himself, I going to write Black M-A-I-L, and he had to correct me. He said, I am the male, not the regular. So I am so excited to meet you. So let's give a hand for someone who is also a patriot fighting on the front line for our nation. His name is Mr. Stephen Gardiner. Sean, I think of a track and field. I'm sorry, I just like to run it. And so thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you and your efforts for the nation. And all the other invited guests today, we are grateful for your presence. We will be having a brief press conference once the media has identified themselves, so we can have that. And then we'll go into the town hall meeting. All right, so without any further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Lincoln Bain.
Prayer. Prayer? Oh, my bad. Okay. Just got to make sure that's important.
Oh, I can't do nothing without prayer. I don't even try that. Amen. But we want to definitely, amen, we want to look to get in directly into the session where we're going to just talk to the media for a little bit and let them know what we're seeking to do today, what's the vision, what's the plan for today. And again, we are grateful for all of you just being in the midst, and touch your neighbor to the side, maybe someone strange. Introduce yourselves. Come on. Talk to each other. Don't be not sitting among strangers. We're not among strangers. Yeah, we take colors off today. And we have to understand. Yeah, get to know somebody next to you. Because we got to stand together. If there was ever a time where we better know how to be one, it's now. So we can't be having no strange feeling next to us. Yeah, we got to know each other. We got to stand together, forward, upward, onward. Say it with me. Forward, upward, onward. If there were ever a time, my Bahamian people, that we need to be one, that time is right now. I've seen Bahamians come together. I know a lot of people look around and say Bahamians don't know how to get together, but I've seen something different. It didn't happen then while I was in college. I know I still look young, but while I was in college, why y'all laughing? And so while I was in college, and some of you may have heard about the Great St. Augustine's College in Raleigh, North Carolina. We had a massive Bahamian contingent there while I went to college. And let me tell you something, but the Bahamians at St. Aug at the time, we were one. Whenever a Bahamian came for the first time, we got that person, made sure they knew whatever the major was, We connected them with someone in that major. We looked out for each other. We even had our own place in the cafeteria that no other nationality could sit at. So this thing with Bahamianization, we took that to North Carolina. We wasn't playing with that. We love you, you know. But we had our own spot, and everybody in the campus knew you couldn't sit in that corner. They used to call it the Bahamian corner. So I already know what it is to get Bahamians together and see us work together. And it was always in love and in unity. And so without any further ado, we're going to definitely try to invite the media.
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, they're ready. Ready to go. We're going to invite the media. And as I said, we introduce ourselves to each other. Let's not be strangers, Bahamians. Right now, we are under attack, whether we like to recognize it or not. Our nation is being threatened massively. This is not about us hating anyone else from anywhere else. Right now, this is about home. This is my land. This is your land. This is all we have. This is all we have, y'all. And that's just what it is. And so right now, I invite now to take over for this segment in the person of the leader of the Coalition of Independence, in the person of Mr. Lincoln Bain. Let's put our hands together.
This land is my land. This land is your land. From Grand Bahama down to Inagua. From the Berry Islands cross to Maguana. This land was made for you. Amen. Thank you so much for being here. This is an important day. I'm not here just to speak to the media. I want to thank those in the media who are present, the ZNS and Eyewitness News that I can see so far. I'm here to address the Bahamian people because we have a nation in peril. Before I get started, I just want to show Brave Davis and Michael Pintard something. This is in me. This is real. The struggle for our country is real. This is not something that someone else has to feed to me on a piece of paper because I am living this every day. You are living this every day. And we must have real plans for this country. If we don't have real plans for this country and the fortitude to get it done, to execute it, we will not have a country in short order. And so today, I've called you and the thousands or tens of thousands of people watching this from around the world and in the Bahamas, I've called you to raise the alarm. It's time to wake up before we lose the only thing that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, something very strange happened in 2022. It was good, but it was bad. It was some good news, but it was some really bad news. And how could that be possible? In 2022, that was the first year of this present administration, the Progressive Liberal Party under Philip Brave Davis. What happened in that year was that immigration all of a sudden became one of the biggest money makers in this country. The immigration department. Let me tell you what happened. In 2022 was the last year they had modest means. In 2022, they made $182,880 in 2022. That's how much the Department of Immigration made. I said thousand. 182,000. Go and check their website. That's how much money they claim to have made in that year from work permits, etc. All right? That was interesting. Now, but in 2022, they processed a record number of work permits, etc. They processed over 28 work permits. Over 18,000 work permits. This was a record. Can you imagine? That is a country in itself. That's a country that they brought in. That's new applications. That's not the persons who were already here. That is a country that in 2022, it skyrocketed, the new applications, okay? But again, the numbers were $182,000 is what was made. Okay, that's probably about $1,400 something per application, give or take. Okay, but something else happened. It continued to increase. In the first quarter of 2023 alone, they processed, just the first quarter, the first 3 months, over 13,000 applications. January, February, and March, over 13,000 applications. How is that possible? That's the first quarter. And they claim to have made $20.6 million, $20.6 million in the first quarter alone in 2023. That seems like these work permit applications started to seem to be some kind of new business, or it started to explode. In 2024, the numbers continued. In 2024, someone talk to me. Y'all talk to me. I know this is a press conference, and I know we should be formal, but this is for you. How much do you think the Department of Immigration made last year in 2024 from work permits, etc.? How much? Go call some numbers. $50,000? Money, I would know money. Money. Let's talk money. That one say 100 million. 100 million going once, 100 million going twice. Ladies and gentlemen, the Department of Immigration reported that they made $127 million for the year of 2024. That's last year. So what's going on? Ask yourself the question. One, where's this money? And two, why is this money? How much work permits are you giving out? Now, there were some new fees that were added, but why the big jump from 182,000 for 18,000 persons? So if it was 182,000 for 18,000 persons, how much did you process to get to 127 million? Again, we know that there were some other fees that were added during this period, but we need the government to be more transparent and let us know exactly what is going on. We are confused as a people. Why all the work permits? And so we, in the Coalition of Independence, we had a job to do. And that job was to safeguard our country. And that is what we set out to do, and that is what we did. We have received reputational damage for doing so. There are persons who call us all kinds of hateful names. They say we're xenophobic because we want people to come into our country the right way. When we love all people, we just want you to come in the right way. We've had people call us like Hitler. We've had people say all manner of negative things about us. Why? Because we want to safeguard our nations like other nations are safeguarding their nation. We are not against immigration. We are for immigration. Somebody got to work for us. Because in the New Bahamas, we could be the owners. So someone got to come work for us. But we want you to come the right way. And I don't know in what twisted world would that actually be a problem. To tell you to come to my front door, please. That's it. Just come to the front door. And that is all we are asking of anyone who comes to this country. While we're not focusing on any particular nationality, we see that many nationalities come here. The Chinese come. They are buying up properties all over the country. We see that happening. You would remember that we stood up against the Chinese and the corruption that was going on when we found out that there were Chinese in the Hilton Hotel. We were the ones that exposed that situation that went down. We were the ones that exposed that and revealed a letter and revealed a voice note of the minister at the time, Keith Bell, trying to call the director of immigration, deputy director, and tell her to stand down, that Chester Cooper is dealing with it. It was us that revealed that. So we didn't reveal that because we were targeting Chinese. It was illegal immigration, and we wanted to get to the bottom of it. We were the ones who, while the government was pretending that there was no shantytown issue, there was no illegal immigration issue, we were the ones who had to spend our own dollar, jump on the plane, and go and show you. We had camera in tow. We had to go there and said, Bahamas, look at what is going on. Here is the shanty towns that they said don't exist. This went from 50 acres to 1,500 acres, while the government is in total denial. We held their foot to the fire. In fact, in September of 2021, immediately after the election, they started, the immigrants started flooding this country. We had to jump on the plane, go to Inagua, and force the government hands. They started making excuses immediately as to why they couldn't repatriate these people. We had to take action. We had to get something done, and we forced them to do it because we shined the light on what was going on. We took it to the office of the Prime Minister. We took it to the House of Parliament. We have shown you that we are serious about safeguarding our nation because we spent our freedom to do it. We were arrested when we decided that if the government isn't going to listen to us, we're going to take it to CARICOM. We were brutally abused and arrested, held longer than you can legally hold someone without taking them to court, because we are that serious about protecting our nation. This is not about fancy speeches and promising people what we're going to do if we get in. We stood up for the last 4 years. We spent our time because we know that freedom isn't free. Someone has to pay for it. And we slept in jail cells where we were mercilessly thrown. They eventually took us to court and told us that we have to get bail to get out. And we have to pay cash bail, or we're going to Fox Hill now. We had 1 hour to find, I think, don't hold me to the number, I think it was about $40,000. That sounds about right? We had to find about $40,000 in 1 hour. And I will say to all of you, our supporters, that you showed up. And you went in your pockets. I was in jail. I couldn't go to the bank. You went in your pockets. And despite this new evil regime that seemed to be trying to have its way with our country, you showed up. And we found $40,000 in 1 hour. And we got our bail. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the fight for this country. We are still on bail today. In fact, we could probably be signing in next week. We are still on bail for standing up to protect our borders from this influx. The pressure forced the government in 2023 to put a moratorium, they said, on work permits from Haiti. They said they put a moratorium. There was a caveat in there that it would be case-by-case basis. We knew it was a flim-flam because all applications are case-by-case basis. And we see that the amount of money they collected increased. So we know that that moratorium was not a real moratorium. And what started to happen on the streets was that we started to notice that there were more, particularly those of Haitian descent, on the streets. You started to see more Chinese too, but more of Haitian descent. And we started to notice that more and more of them had work permits. And we're like, how are they getting all these work permits? And we were not getting anything. It's interesting to note that starting in 2023, the government refused to give the numbers on how many people have work permits. They started to give numbers on how much people got new work permits, new applicants. But they refused at that point to give the numbers of how much people have it. So that means they could tell you some new numbers that you can't verify because you can't line it up with what was already there. You understand? And so we started to notice that, and we started to run our investigations all over this country. We started to go in the shanty towns and ask them to see their permits. And they would tell us everything. They would say, yeah, they paid this one for this, they paid that one. Someone would say, oh, I have to pay this person on here every week for my permit. So in other words, that person signed for them, and for signing to them, that person, every time they get paid every week, would have to give that person. That's a Bahamian, or a Bahamian of Haitian descent, selling out our birthright. Someone selling our birthright. And we started to notice that there's more and more of the influx. We also notice in the newspapers more and more applications. Every day, you see a pile of people applying for citizenship. Now, the work permit is one thing. The citizenship is another thing, because majority rules. And here is the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in an immigration crisis. Our land has been taken over by foreigners, by Bahamian of foreign descent, and even some Bahamians are renting and leasing to these persons and allowing this to happen. This must stop. While we love our neighbors, let me make this clear to you. When the earthquake happened in 2010, I did something that no other Bahamian did. I partnered with one other man, and we got a full plane, a jet, and we filled it with supplies and medical supplies, and we flew it to Haiti to help. Our Prime Minister Ingram had said, we can't help because America took over the runway and they took over the airport and no one can come. They turned around the Prime Minister of Barbados in air. And so Ingram said, we can't give any help. And of course, you know, I don't take no for an answer, especially when it comes to nonsense. That's Haiti, not America. And so this is the Bahamas. So I said, well, if they can go to the airport, we can go to the airport. And we called the U.S. military, and they said, yeah, come on down. We need all the help we can get. I was like, well, what was Ingram talking about? Okay. So we jumped on the plane, we went, and we helped. That's not something that someone would do for people they hate. I took off my own resources and assisted. I don't hate anybody. And anyone who is in need of help, even my worst enemy, I will help. But we have reached a crossroads. Even Noah's Ark door had to close at some point. And there are many of them that we grew up with. They were our friends and neighbors. We went to school with them. And they are here. They've contributed to our society. But there comes a time when the door must close. If you have 15 million people here and 400,000 people here, that 15 million people can overthrow that 400,000. And that is what we are concerned about. We're concerned about the fact that corruption is behind this whole thing. Corruption is causing our Bahamas Air to be used to fly these people in now. They're coming in by boat. It's not being reported. They're not being captured, but they're still coming in by boat. But they're also coming in by planes. And we are hearing reports, ladies and gentlemen, that they are paying corrupt officials, one, to get visas. That's the first step. They get a visa, and you would know that they had a case recently while Keith Bell was minister, where a boat was seized, and one of the persons on the boat, one of the illegal immigrants, already had a work permit on him. Already. And Keith Bell admitted that yeah, that's a legit work permit. How you land here on a shanty boat with the work permit? That was the question. But now our airports are being used after one. These people pay money to get under the table. When they come here, they pay for an extension. These people are being used. Then they pay for another extension. And then they pay for some status, whether it's work permit or whatever kind of status they can pay for. Then they pay for that. Then next they pay for citizenship. Our documents are being sold like candy on the open market. And if we don't do something, there will be no country for us. We must take this seriously, and we must stand up. It's time to do something. It's time. The Coalition of Independence has already released its immigration plan. But right now, we have some further demands. Our immigration plans are simple. In fact, it is the shortest of all of the plans that we've released because it's very straightforward. We already have all the immigration laws we need. What we don't have is proper enforcement because there's corruption. Everything that we need is already the law. It is illegal to house or harbor illegal immigrants. It is illegal to hire them. It is illegal to land here illegally. What other law you need? What we need is enforcement. Our islands are under siege, and that is why this is so important at this time. Our islands are under siege. North Andros is crying out, saying, help us. Who do we turn to? They are praying and their prayers are not being answered. Eleuthera is crying out, help us. This is not the Eleuthera that we grew up in. Eleuthera is turning to a shantytown. Harbor Island is crying out. You just saw us on Spanish Wells. Spanish Wells? I said Spanish Wells, you know. When Spanish Wells is in problems with illegal immigration, our country is in trouble. We're in serious problems. There was one man who was there, and I just want to say this to all of you. The man said that he is a supporter of the COI, and we came and we exposed his shanty town. He said it's not a shanty town, he's renting to the people. And we exposed him, and he is going to expose us because he's a supporter. He wanted to run for us in the election. But he was making money housing these immigrants. Some of them are illegal. He makes sure that when he deals with someone that they are legal when they come in. But of course, he don't know who else is brought in afterwards. He admitted that these things were built, most of them without permits. And I stood up to him and I said to him, it doesn't matter if you are a supporter of the COI. Wrong is wrong. We will not run the kind of government that the PLP and FNM ran. The government of cronyism. The government where they turn a blind eye to wrong. If you are housing immigrants in the wrong way, if you have shanty houses that you are renting to persons, don't tell me you are a supporter and I must give you a bly. Wrong is wrong. And you can scream from the mountaintops. But we got to protect this one nation that we have. I am not doing this for votes. This is not an expedient thing to be doing for votes because you're going to offend some people by doing this. But I prefer to offend people than to lose this one country that we got, that we are losing, that we have been losing. I stand on my principle that we must leave this land for our children. And I'm not standing down. Before I speak to the government, tell them what needs to happen, I saw that a gentleman that we now know as Lil Lincoln, or Mini-Me, decided that since he saw us announce last Thursday that we would have a town hall meeting and press conference on the illegal immigration situation, that he would call one and then call it at 2 o'clock before ours. I guess he was hoping that the media wouldn't show up to ours after having to go and work at his. And maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. It doesn't matter because you're here. And it's you that counts. But this man decided to talk about immigration after all these years. Y'all ever see them on the shanty town? No. I heard him speaking out against Keith Bell after we exposed Keith Bell. After we exposed Keith Bell, after we had some protests, he decided to come after us, Mini-Me, and start to have a protest decided to have a protest at Keith Bell's office with him and two of his candidates, I guess, and scream at Keith Bell at his office, he made it political by dealing with Keith Bell, but he still would not address the immigration issue. Not just the shantytown, but the illegal immigrants coming in. He sideswiped that. And he would now brag and say, yeah, we protested against Keith Bell. Yeah, you speak against a politician, but you did not address this issue. When we called for persons to come out, you did not come out to the Prime Minister's office. Only Iram Lewis did. Give Iram Lewis a round of applause. And when Iram Lewis did that, they scolded him. They mashed him up to the ground. And he said, I'm just standing with the Bahamian people. The F&M mashed up a man because he was out there to help us deliver a 10-point plan for immigration. Now, the government implemented some of those things, and that's when they did the moratorium. And we told them Bahamas Air flights must stop. The government did that for a short period. The work permits to Haiti must stop. They did that. And so I thank you for coming out and making that happen. But the F&M refused to assist with that. So the question is, how could you trust them now? How could you believe anything that Michael C. Pintard says? Michael C. Pintard said something strange today in his report. Michael Pintard says there's Bahamians who went and just take the Crown land, and basically what he's saying is he could kick us off the Crown land. Well, let me say this to you, Michael Pintard. If you think you is man, the whole defense force came and couldn't move us off our land. I want to see you come. I want to see you come and do what the whole defense force couldn't do. Instead of you focus on the illegals who are taking over this country, you spend your press conference to focus on Bahamians who are possessing our land, who have been dispossessed in our country. For 50 years, 30,000 Bahamians applied for Crown land, and you are focused on Bahamians. I want to see you come, Michael C. Pintard. You come to our yard, I'll come to yours. If you is man. So, if this country is cursed and allow the F&M to come back and dishonor this country further, and Michael C. Pintard decide that Bahamians must come off their Crown land, that ain't gonna go down easy, eh? This government has decided that they are giving Bahamians on Crown land all over the Family Islands, telling them that they're moving them. That's happening right now as we speak, all over the Family Islands. Bahamians, stand up, all right? The Crown land is for the benefit of Bahamian people. Don't let them move you. The F&M and the PLP are one. They have one policy, and that is that you are never to benefit from what happens in this country. That is their policy. They together make money from the Crown land in this country. The F&M and the PLP. They formed this company called Our Homes. They did together. And if you go and do a little Google search on their 30-year anniversary, there's an article in the Tribune where you will see where they say who was the directors of that company. And the directors of that included Craig Simonet and the head of Royal Bank, I think it's John Smith, at the time. Of course, Royal Bank's chairman just before that or at that time was Roland Simonet. And so it was not just Frankie and the PLP. That was F&Ms and PLP that came together to take our Crown land and benefit from it. To take our Crown land, cut it up in pieces and sell it back to you. But when you get on it, they won't bring the military. Come. We'll be waiting. But ladies and gentlemen, in his speech, I won't be much longer, but in his speech, he gave what he called a plan. And I want you to notice, remember when they talk about Keith Bell, etc., they never actually addressed the immigration crisis. In his speech, he still didn't address the immigration crisis. Let me break down their so-called solution. It's called the SHIELD solution. All right? I don't know how many of y'all wasted time watching that today. But I got to give account to y'all, so I had to watch it. Jesus, that's what, half hour I could never get back. And so, let me tell you what the SHIELD stand for. And let's see what's missing from this. He says shield is secure our land and illegal occupation. In other words, they're taking the land back from any illegal immigrants who might be illegally occupying it. But that's where he plugged in that, oh, y'all Bahamians, we taking y'all off it too. All right? All right. So they got the land. They got to make sure no one using the land illegally. Okay, that's shield. H is heightened surveillance. So they go watch, surveil. I mean, they go watch. I don't know. Okay. Investigate. I is they're going to investigate political abuse. So any politicians involved, they can investigate it. They ain't say they can do nothing about it, but they can investigate it. All right? Okay. They think we are grandparents' generation. E is end unfairness. So whatever unfairness going on, they can end it. Whatever that general statement means. L means they're going to limit approvals. Yeah, right. All right? They're going to limit approvals. D is they're going to disclose data. All right? They're going to disseminate information. Okay. Thanks. Nothing in here about actually arresting and deporting the illegal immigrants. Nothing about prosecuting persons who harbor them. Nothing in this. What kind of shield is this? I think you should have picked up your sword, not the shield. Well, we're going to pick up the sword for you. Tiptoeing and tap dancing around the issue so as not to offend. While not willing to stand up for this country. This country needs strong leadership in this day hour. There's nothing in here about actually addressing. You can investigate, and then what? We've tired of seeing that. Hiding surveillance, you go watch. Y'all been watching them do what they're doing. And so, Michael C. Pintard, your flowery speech was an epic fail. We need real solutions. On top of that, we cannot trust the PLP and F&M who have failed us on this for 50 years. Pintard talked about securing the land, securing the crown land, etc. Okay, yeah, he mentioned that. But did you know that Pintard was the Minister of Immigration? Yes. Do you know the Minister of Immigration is responsible for all agricultural crown land? Did you know that most of the agricultural crown land was stolen by these immigrants? In 2016, we had something called Hurricane Matthew. When Hurricane Matthew came and affected Nassau, especially in the Cowpen Road area, a lot of the Bahamians abandoned because everything was flooded and destroyed. The Haitians then took it over and the Bahamians couldn't get it back. What did Pintard do? Nothing. What did he do? Nothing. Pintard is talking about crown land. Did he grant 1 acre of crown land to any Bahamian? No, not one. But now they're making you promises. Oh, we're under new leadership. That was the old leader. The F&M has the same leaders. The people who fund them. Whose bidding they do. Don't let Pintard fool you. We don't run that party. He don't even pick the candidates. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a crisis. I brought some fellas who have dedicated their lives to our Constitution and to labor matters in this country to sit down and address you. You're going to hear from black male, Mr. Sean Gardner. Give him a round of applause. And you're going to hear from Sidney Walter MacArthur Thompson once we finish the press conference. But ladies and gentlemen, go to our Vision 2030 and see the real solutions that we have. It's on our website. Some people said that they were having some problems clicking on it. I checked it. There's no problem there. But it's on our website, the real solutions for immigration. We're going to enforce immigration. And you know what a man is going to do by what he has done. As it relates to immigration, you know what Brave Davis has done and what he is doing. And you know what Michael C. Pintard has done. And I will say this to you, and I'll scream this from the mountaintop. Michael C. Pintard worked for Fred Smith, while Fred Smith was fighting our immigration policies, stopping us from dealing with shanty towns or touching illegals. Michael Pintard admitted that he worked for him. Do you think that he has changed? And I say this to the whole country. I still want to see Michael C. Pintard's birth certificate. Michael C. Pintard, I want you to produce that. You may say it's trivial, but you work for us, and I need to see. If you work for me, I can ask you for your documents. I have a right to do that, right? If I was your boss, I could ask you for ID, right? All right. We need to see Michael C. Pintard's birth certificate. We are hearing that he was adopted, and his mother was a Haitian immigrant. And so we need to know if that is true. I don't deal with stuff that I don't have evidence of. And so I'm asking Michael Pintard to give us the evidence that he was born in the Bahamas and to Bahamian parentage. And so I need to know that. Why? Because he works for us. And because as a man who works for us, I've seen that even under the previous administration, while he was working for us again, that he was not interested in dealing with these immigration issues. He was not fighting for our land. Like we paid him to fight for our crown land. He was responsible for our agricultural crown land while it was being taken over. And look who, the people who ain't getting paid for it had to go on those agricultural crown land and take it back for our Bahamian people. Out of office, not getting paid for it, but doing something. And so we're not here to attack anyone today. I want it to be known that I love all people, and we love all people, but we love Bahamians most. And we love Bahamians first. And Bahamians will be put first in this country. We need another immediate moratorium on all work permits now. Because of the corruption that we are seeing involved. We are concerned, this is a serious concern, that since 2003, more and more persons were showing up with these cards saying that they were work permits. We are concerned that someone is selling fake work permits. That is not in the system. They didn't apply at all. They just got a fake card. We've seen fake NIB cards. We've seen fake passports. Almost every immigrant you see now, they can pull out a work permit. Someone is selling fake work permits that are not even in the system. And we are concerned with that, and we want the ministry responsible to give account. This is what is happening, y'all. So that when the police pull them over and say, what you doing here? They can say, I got papier. And they show it, but the police has no way to cross-check it. So as long as he has that, the police don't know if that's real or not. And so he has to let him go. Even if immigration stops him. Let me see your papers. Right here. Okay, you can go. We need a proper system, just like when the police pull you over and he asks you your name and he wants to do a new name check, he goes in the system, right? Yes. We need a proper system that the police will have access to, that customs and immigration will have access to, that they can actually check that card to see if that relates to someone actually in the system who went through proper processing. That needs to happen immediately. All right? Because they are taking advantage of that loophole. I can assure you that when we get to office, we are going to fix this. You can trust us to fix this. And I'm going to say to you before that I said again, I am going to be the Minister of National Security. Sorry, the Minister of Immigration. All right, I might be Minister of National Security too. But I'm going to be the Minister of Immigration. Maria want me to take that. She didn't want that stress. I'm going to be the Minister of Immigration, and I will have no one to answer to. There'll be no one to call me on the phone and say, let that one go. Every time we went to a family island, we exposed the immigration situation. And by the way, we'll be in Abaco on this weekend. We're going to be opening our national headquarters in Abaco. All right, so we want everyone in Abaco under the sound of my voice to be there. Look on our website, our Facebook page, to get the information exactly where it'll be. But on Saturday, we'll be opening our headquarters. So Abaco is the first one we opening after our national headquarters. We on the move. We ain't playing with them. And we got other headquarters to open after that. So stay tuned. We'll be opening up. We'll be knocking them with headquarters straight through. While the F&M barely could name candidates. And the PLP ain't named none yet. We're on the move. But every time we go to a family island, as soon as we leave, immigration will come. A bunch of people get locked up, and then those people right back on the streets. But now, they got papier. So it looks like immigration raids were being used to make money, not to enforce immigration. You understand? I want you to wake up. It's time to wake up. And so I promise you, and I know you've heard promises from politicians, but I've been living this. We've already started the process. We fought for your crown land. We fought for your land. Yes, we have taken the land. Pintard, come for it if you's man. It's ours. And we fought to enforce the immigration policies in this country. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue to hold the government's foot to the fire, but what is the solution? The solution is the PLP and F&M must go. Brent Simonet bragged as Minister of Immigration. He bragged at how much citizenship she was giving out every week. What he said, hundreds every week? Every week. He bragged. So the F&M is going to do different? Y'all don't fall for that fellow who is putting on an acting job by trying to copy everything he hears me say. This is serious business. This is not playtime. We have to stand up and fight for this. And if someone is not fighting now, they ain't going to fight then. If someone is not fighting now, they're not going to fight later. They have no interest in addressing this immigration problem because they are benefiting from it. The oligarchs want cheap, almost slave labor. And they are benefiting from it. And that's the oligarchs that fund them. They don't fund us. You fund us. Your money going to good use? Yeah, you like how your money going? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't trust them. Vote for yourselves this time. Because if we don't win this election, your country gone. Y'all didn't listen to Loftus Roker, you know. Now you're living it. Now Lincoln Bean is talking. And I'm serious as a heart attack. Loftus said it, and then he went quiet when they told him be quiet. I am not going to be silenced. I don't care how much jail they put me in. I got plenty more locking up to get before election, if they want to. But ladies and gentlemen, if we don't win this country is over. If Philip Brave Davis and them go back there where he's not worried about another term, you can imagine what he could do next time. It's happening right in front of your face, and some people are not taking it seriously. You see it happening. They are now taking the government ministries and taking it to the Shanty Downs, taking it to them in their communities. They don't do nothing to make our life easier. Everywhere we go, they make life hard at every turn. But they're making it easier for them to get everything they need. It's happening right in your faces. The man went in the shanty down and told them, I am you and you are me. I am one of you. That's what he said to them. He said that he is of Asian descent. And he said he's always been there for them, and he always will be. But let me tell you, my Bahamian people, I am you and you are me. I ain't nobody else. I am a raw-born, organic Bahamian. And I love this country. And I love this nation. And I ain't pandering to nobody for votes. If you don't want to vote for me, don't vote for me. But I can defend this country by hook or by crook, by shield or by sword. We can defend this nation. I am an Auckland's Bean Hannah Hasty Times. I am a Cat Island Poitier. I am a Roll Bow from Exuma. I am a raw-born Bahamian. And nothing mixed up in me. The only thing mixed up in me is my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And he gave this land to us. And we gonna fight for this. And so the pintard who say he coming for it, tell him come. Brave, if you want to come for some of this, you come for some of this too. But Bahamians are fed up. Bahamians are tired. And we have had enough. Change ain't coming. Change ain't coming. Thank you. To the media who is present, if you all have any questions at this time, we'll host your questions. Take this to them, please. Someone take this to them so the people online can hear them. Make sure it's on.
Testing. Okay.
Yes.
Wes Calix Fall from ZNS. You said that you would prefer migrants to come in the right way, but are you aware that, I'm assuming it's Bahamas Air, with their 3 times a week flight, they're not tracking, I'm assuming, how do they track people's, how long they stay and so on and so forth? What do you have to say about that?
What we've been seeing, we've been investigating, and I want to thank persons who are members of the airline and other persons who have been helping us with our investigation. I think one thing that the Bahamian public knows is I don't open my mouth about anything until I know for certain, until I have fully investigated. What we have seen, and I've seen this in writing on paper, for example, about 2 weeks ago, I saw a flight that left with 30 people that came in with 130-something people. And so this is the trend, that some people will go over, yes, but the majority would be coming over. And the numbers aren't adding up. So obviously these people aren't going back home. And so this must be enforced. We have to do something about this. And so people at the airport are seeing this. Bahamians at the airport, they are sending me pictures. They are sending me information. We have been investigating, and we know exactly what's going on. And so, no, we're not the official loyal royal opposition or whatever they want to call themselves. We're the real opposition. And so we have been investigating. And so those flights need to stop. Those flights need to stop now. And so while there are many who are here and live with us, we full, eh? We full. I have a problem when we are running out of hospital beds because we're not managing the country properly. I have a problem when our children are not getting seats in the schools. Do you know, I was having a conversation in the back there with one of our candidates who is an educator, a teacher, and what he was explaining to me is that this administration made it so that if a foreigner, and I'll just say generally foreigner, wants to enroll in school, you can't ask them for anything, any qualifications in order to enroll in school. But the Bahamian students have to come up with this and that and the next thing. And so that is inequality. And so what happens is when the Bahamian students come, there's no seat for them. And the Bahamian students who are there, it's unfair because you're saying Bahamians aren't doing well in school, but you're giving them crowded classrooms when our classrooms should not be crowded. And so these are the reasons that we have to enforce this. And so the airport, we believe that is the situation is steeped in corruption, because we have been told, and we have broadcast this live before, speaking to persons in Haiti, that persons are buying these permits, and there's been visa scandals under the FNM and under the previous PLP. So this is not something I'm making up. This has come to the forefront already. So do you think it stopped now? No, it hasn't. It's just that the people in power are not enforcing anything. They're not looking at anything. And so it's continuing carte blanche.
Laurencia Smith from Eyewitness News.
Yes.
Mr. Bain, you talk about the fact that your your immigration policies are straightforward and enforcement is the key agenda, what would enforcement look like if you are elected?
Well, enforcement would be simple. If you come here the right way, you are welcome to be here. You can have all of the privilege. You can have a bank account. You can have your driver's license so that you don't hit people's car and break off running. You can use all of our facilities in this country, the hospital, etc., because you're coming here the right way and you're going to contribute in different ways to being in the society. And so that means that we're going to enforce that. No one is going to come here illegally. And how do you enforce it? The best way to get rid of unwanted persons or things in your house is to not give them anywhere to house and not give them any way to eat. What am I talking about? I'm not talking about starving and needy people. What I'm saying is that you cannot get a job in this country because we're not going after the immigrants, you know. We're going to go after the person who hired them. And so there will be enforcement against you and your business if you hire them, as is the law in the United States, as is the law in Haiti. And so we're going to have enforcement, so there'll be no way for you to make money in this country, so you won't come. So anyone who hires them is going to find themselves in problem. Anyone who houses them or gives them anywhere to live is going to find themselves in problems. And so once it is enforced, we know Bahamians don't want to get in trouble. And so we know that there will be no place for them to go the wrong way. But if you want someone to come in and work for your company, why is it so hard to do it the right way? Why do you want human beings having to live in shanty towns as the oligarchs of the PLP and FNM has been doing? Why do you want people living in that situation? When Haitians, for example, go to Miami, they don't live in shanty towns. When they go to New York or they go to Canada or they go to France, they don't live in shanty towns. They find a place to stay. I don't think a child should be allowed to grow up in a shanty towns. Our policy will not only help Bahamians, no. This will help the Haitians and the Chinese and the Jamaicans who want to come here the right way. It will help them. As a police officer, I saw situations where persons who were legal got robbed and they couldn't make a complaint because they were illegal. I saw instances of people getting raped and they were afraid to make a complaint because they were here illegally. I saw that. What's happening in this society is wrong and all we want to do is fix it. And so we don't want that on our conscience. We don't want wrong things happening to anyone. And to force someone to live in a shanty town so an oligarch could make some money by giving them cheap labor is wrong. That is modern day slavery. You allow them to live in a shanty town so they don't have no rent, no mortgage, no light bill, etc. So you don't have to pay them what you would pay a Bahamian. That's the crux of the matter. But now they are making all of the money. And now Bahamians are being cut out of work. And Bahamians are being cut out of the contracts. And that's where we're going. So enforcement is going to deal with those who house them. They're not going over to the Dominican Republic, you know. Because there's enforcement. Enforcement will fix it. And I'm going to call that the Long Island policy. The whole Bahamas is going to turn into Long Island. All right? So any other questions? All right. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is serious, and it's time to take action. Before we take action, we got to educate you. And so now the town hall meeting is going to begin. This town hall meeting is to hear from these two gentlemen briefly, and it's also. There's a question right here. No, we're only taking questions from media now.
Oh, from media.
Yeah, that was the media talking, so we wanted to make sure they get theirs, and then we'll start our town hall, then we're going to open it for questions. So I was about to say, we want questions and comments. We want the government to hear y'all. Yes. All right? That's why you're here. Not just to hear from me. We want the government to hear you. All right? So, Mr. Blackmail, is going to join me and Mr. Walter Thompson. My deputy and my chairman was here for support. And of course, they're doing a phenomenal job, and I want to thank you all for the job that you all are doing. But everyone is going to have their say in a minute, but just allow these gentlemen to come up, and so we could get that part out of the way. And we want the government to hear you all roar. And so, ladies and gentlemen, guess who decided to also have a, what you call it, press briefing today? Wayne Monroe. Now I want to talk. Wayne Monroe, who sent the Defense Force of Bahamians, want to talk. I mean, all them following today. All of a sudden, immigration is the topic today because we decided to talk about it. We already running the country. So I'm going to allow you briefly to hear from Mr. Blackmail and Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson first, I'll give him 10, 15 minutes. It's up to you. Not a preacher, 10, 15 minutes now. And then we'll hear from Mr. Blackmail, and then we'll hear from me again. And, of course, we're going to open the floor because I want the government to hear you. And you're going to speak on behalf of those who can't be here. The people from Harbor Island, the people from Exuma, the people from Abaco, the people from North Andres. They are watching this right now. And we got to speak to the government on their behalf. This is the right time because it's election time. All of a sudden, they can do everything we say. And so it's time for us to stand up, eh? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this man knows the Constitution like the back of his hand. And he has spent a lot of his life educating the Bahamian people about the ins and outs of the Constitution. And so we decided to give him a voice at this platform because we believe that knowing the Constitution is important. And they keep us down by not letting us learn the Constitution, the civics, and our rights. And so we want to hear from him as it relates to the Constitution and our immigration issues. So this is Mr. Sidney Walter MacArthur Thompson. He uses all four of his names, and he makes sure everyone know all four of his names. Go ahead, sir. Mic right there.
Good afternoon, Bahamas.
Make sure that's on. There you go.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. The thing is that the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas is the supreme law of the land.
All right. You good? No, where are the mic? Okay, they sending that. Okay, we good. Still bring the other one.
Okay. Thank you very much. You can hear me now? Yes. Okay. What I've said on my shows, and I've been at this for some time, I have challenged the Bahamian people. Because the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It doesn't matter what a particular personality may say. You have to examine the evidence that is in your Constitution. Every single word of that Constitution is important. Now, people will have their interpretations of the Constitution. The Constitution allows for you to express your view, to express an opinion.
Hold this one.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You know, these mics sometimes let you down. You have a right to express your opinion, the Constitution says, freely without interference. And I think a lot of you don't take advantage of that because a lot of people have not understood that document. In fact, a lot of people tell me for the first time they're learning about the Constitution. 52 years as an independent nation. and many of our people don't know it. So we have to work on it. Even those who you have sent to the House of Assembly, to the Senate, all available evidence will show you that many of them do not even understand the document. So you have a dilemma where you have the citizenry in the constituency not understanding the difference between being a member of a political party. Yes, there are those in the House of Assembly who may be members of political parties, but also you have a function to perform which is a parliamentary function. The unfortunate thing is, when I speak on the radio, I do not necessarily address political parties. The Constitution allows for that, and that is basically what I would say. But what I do address is the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And that's where a lot of people go wrong, because they mix up their political party with the government of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. Now, I have a problem with the government of the Bahamas. If the government is acting contrary to the Constitution, that government becomes an unlawful government. And I think a lot of us don't understand how serious that is. In other words, I say to people, you defy such a government. What does that mean? Defy means if they act outside of the ambience of the Constitution, you don't have to obey them. Just as simple as that. But a lot of us don't understand that. We tend to get our politics mixed up, and you could be a member, and most people are just followers of political parties. They're not even members. The thing is that every single person has a right. The Constitution talks about every person, but not every person is a citizen, right? So there are some things in that document that applies to every person. There are some things in that document that applies to every citizen. There's a difference now. You have citizens and you have non-citizens in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The problem we have in our country is a lot of us get all mixed up. We don't understand it. We were never taught it in the schools. And do not tell me after 52 years someone is going to wake up tomorrow morning and decide to do it. You can't wait for that thing. It has never happened in 52 years as an independent nation. The point is that you have to find alternative means as it is now to understand your Constitution, which means there have to be constitutional classes, there have to be constitutional lectures for people to understand the Constitution. It has to go on radio. And I think radio is one of the best means to educate the masses. Because, see, I make it very simple, you know. See that woman in Baintown with those 5 boys? The man in Foxhill with 6 daughters? You keep telling me you can't find no young men to marry those girls. And they need husbands, Bahamians. What's happening to our young men? We have to do something about that, you know. Okay? And they wouldn't get as young as I am. I'm trying to get them to do it. But they ain't listening. So we have to find a way to reach our young men, because we're going to need them to make their contribution. Let me say this about the younger generation. They have a role to play in this country. They bring a different perspective in the nation. When you look at the Bible, the children of Israel, you had the elders and you had the young people. In fact, what had happened at some point in their history, God said, I have to cut off all those above the age of 20 and over. They died away in the wilderness, right? Yes. So you got some stubborn people in our midst who don't want to listen. But the point is that God sometimes have to intervene and move them out of the way because they're holding up progress. But I always tell them, I'm here till the man come back. Now, I can't speak for nobody else. I know about me. Okay? I am here until the man come back because I believe, as young as I am, I have to make a contribution. You have so many young people out there who do not have the kind of parenting that I had. Listen, I always knew my mother and father from day one. They were always there. And sometimes some people have some problems, some challenges that they have had, and they were fallen down and not able to take care of the children. So we're going to have substitute mothers and fathers. That is something we have to do in our country because we cannot afford to keep losing our young people. Now let me say this about the Parliament of the Bahamas. Parliament consists of Her Majesty the Queen. That's in your constitution definition. They ain't saying nothing about no king. Her Majesty the Queen, a Senate, and a House of Assembly. That's your Parliament. And I think a lot of people forget that. They don't understand that. There are some things that need to be changed in that Constitution, particularly as it refers to Her Majesty the Queen. You're going to find many articles speak to Her Majesty. But she done gone, yes. So what happened? They can leave it the way it is? We can keep saying Her Majesty the Queen. You say nothing about no king, you know. That's why you have to look at the document, look at it very carefully. There's some things in it that need to change. Now let me speak about the office of Prime Minister. The office of Prime Minister is like a gigantic octopus that spreads its tentacles into every single facet of Bahamian life, right into your bedroom.
Yes, that's right.
Now when I said that on air live, the fellow got so upset he called the show right away. Because of the truth, Bahamians. If you get the wrong person in that office, God have mercy on you. There will be tremendous abuse of power. There's only one way constitutionally you can give tabs on the Prime Minister. And you know what that is, Bahamians? That's the House of Assembly. But if you have people in that house who are holding on to a particular personality for a job, for a position, for status, how are you going to do that? It is the duty of your representative to act on your behalf. That's what parliamentary representation is all about. And some people get it all mixed up because they're a member of a particular political party. Yes, they may be. I always talk about working for BTC and being a member of St. Barnabas Church. The same person, member of St. Barnabas Church, worked to BTC, but you don't get it mixed up. Monday morning, you go 9 o'clock, you go to BTC. Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, you're in St. Barnabas Church. You don't get that mixed up, and they've been doing it that way for years. But when it comes to choosing the right person, and Bahamians, you can do this, the right person in that particular constituency, you mean to tell me we don't have enough sense to find out, looking at the candidates that are presented to us, you can't figure out which one is in your best interest? I mean, how we get like that? Here's two questions I always ask, and I want you to remember these two questions. What major constituency problems have been solved over the last 52 years through your representative in the House of Assembly? And here are the clear-cut benefits that you are now enjoying in that particular constituency as a result of those major constituency problems having been solved. People say not one. So what have we been doing for 52 years? We spent millions and billions of dollars. That's what they tell me. Now the next question. What major national problems have been solved by the government of the Bahamas? And here are the clear-cut benefits that come to the Bahamian people as a result of these major national problems having been solved. Well then, Bahamians, what are we sending people? Why do we have these people running the government of the Bahamas? And why do we have these people in the House of Assembly and in the Senate? Because remember now, senators are parliamentarians, because the Constitution says they are parliamentarians. The point is, why are we operating in a way that you cannot see any clear-cut benefits? But there was a benefit to come to you. You should have it better now in your constituency. You should have better now in your country. Because it is the duty of the government of the Bahamas to protect your interests. That's Article 24.1. So we have to do something about the problem that we have in our midst. We just have too many problems that have been added over that 52-year span. Now remember, with these two major parties, next year one could be 70 years, you know. Do you know that they had 70 years of unbroken opportunity in the Senate, in the House of Assembly? And a lot of people don't understand that. 70 consecutive years without missing a beat. Now, you should have done something in that 70-year span. And then the other party had more than 50 years unbroken representation in the Senate, in the House of Assembly. You mean tell me, what have you done with it? And these are the things. See, I just asked those two questions. Of those who had the opportunity to run this place, you have to look at the record. And if you're not satisfied with the record, then you have to do something about it. But Bahamians, I have seen where I'm trying as hard as I can with the support of those who out there in the community. We have to get our people to make sound decisions and good judgment. That is very important. And so the thing is that we have to look at what those who had the opportunity to run this place, and then you make a determination on that. Because there are some others who say, give them a chance. Okay? There's nothing wrong with giving people a chance, you know. But Scripture says very plainly, Proverbs 29:2, and Bahamians, you got to do what God tells you to do now. When the righteous in authority, the people rejoice. Where do you see the rejoicing? If you have righteous people running your country now, if you have righteous people as representatives, then the people should be rejoicing. Then people in Centerville should be saying, y'all leave Baintown, come in Centerville. We're rejoicing over here. But you don't see that, Bahamians. So if the people are not rejoicing, the other portion of the Scripture says, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. That ain't changing for nobody. So either you are righteous people running your affairs, or and they're rejoicing, or you have wicked people running your affairs and they're mourning. That's Scripture. Right across the board. And I think we need to be objective and come to understand what is going on in our country. Because Bahamians, we have a lot of problems. Too many problems. And we are not seeing any clear-cut solutions to those problems. So you and I have to take the necessary action. When I tell people Article 24.1, they say, Professor, you keep quoting Article 24.1, because that's what the Constitution says, to protect your interests. You can't sit back and let somebody else try to do it for you. If you don't see, I say to people, organize yourself. If you're not sure, call me. I'll be happy to come and help you. I got experience too, you know. But the point is, I gave people 1 full year. I said, just give me a team of righteous people, right, in your constituency, and also the people themselves, because you have to have a buffer. In other words, 51% or more of the people in that particular constituency must become righteous in their dealings one with another. Then the constituency is headed for progress. Wow. So those people would be a buffer to help the people who are leading the way. I said one major problem could be solved in 18 months. Just one. That's an example you want to set. Now the people could decide whoever they want to elect to do what they want to do. They could go from there. Mr. President, I I'm not, my time is not up yet. I can
Long
talk
time.
when Bryce come back.
Yeah.
Oh, long time. Now you see, this is what happens
Just
when
giving you
get me
respect.
up there like that. But let me stop right there because my time is up. And I hope I'll talk with you some more as we go forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Right there, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. I could sit down and listen to you talk all day. All day. All right? So that's why I let you go over time. If you didn't say nothing, I wasn't going to say nothing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this man has been fighting. He's put his money where his mouth is, and he is fighting this whole thing in the courts to make sure that we can get some justice. How many of you know that we got to fight these stuff on every different level? Yeah. While you had Martin Luther King on the streets, you had Thurgood Marshall in the courts fighting for the same mission. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Sean Gardner. I respect what he's been putting out there, and we support what he's been doing 100%. And he is here to educate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Blackmail.
Good afternoon, my good people. I want to thank Mr. Lincoln Bain and the COI organization for giving me this opportunity to speak not only to the COIs locally, but also to the Bahamian people by and large. I was allotted 30 minutes. I'm going to do a crash course in relation to what a group of us call, which are called the Patriots, are fighting. We have already filed an originating notice of motion in the Supreme Court to deal with a particular issue in relation to the Bahamas Nationality Act. Yes. We are of the view that that particular law, even though it was passed in an act in 1969, there are several sections of it, or in it, that is unconstitutional. Let me start by saying there are three areas I want to deal with today within this 30 minutes. The first area would be an existential threat. That what is happening. I want to read something you're going to find out today. This is how I operate. I normally read from notes and explain it because I realize, as long as I was around, that once people see something coming from an official document, they tend to put more credence and belief in the document. So that's how I decide to operate. I could freelance, but this is how I would decide to operate today, speaking to my people. Human rights activist Fred Smith, QC, said he sees no problem with Bahamian of Haitian descent organizing to form political parties, insisting that the country is on its way to this group of society emerging as parliamentary leaders. This here is coming from a man who was allegedly born in Haiti in 1956. Well, confirmation, was born in 1956. There we go, Elder Dames. The problem I have in this country, people who don't really have a position or an entitlement to speak in this country, they love to speak. Now, Fred Mitchell addressed him some years ago when he said that Fred Smith was naturalized. Naturalization based on the Constitution. Article 4, based on the Constitution, naturalization ended on the 9th of July, 1974. In order for that to come back, it has to be reenacted through Article 54. And let me put in the disclaimer right here. This is my personal belief. This is why the Patriots has filed an original notice of motion, and we intend to challenge it. Because we realize that if we sit down and do nothing, you're going to have individuals, foreigners, come into our country and take it away. Then we had again, Haitian President Michel Martelly yesterday urged his countrymen to form a voting bloc in the Bahamas and align themselves with political parties that will best serve their interests. This Michel Martelly now, I told them to organize themselves and identify in the upcoming election who is on their side. That way they can become a force. By being unified in the election, they might have people taking care of them This is the democratic way Martelly told reporters. Now you have a former president of Haiti coming on sovereign soil, telling his Haitian people to look for a party which we now know is the Progressive Liberal Party, to take care of them. This is why I don't support the Progressive Liberal Party anymore under Philip, Brave, and Pastor Davis. Okay? I don't support them. The country would know my father was a senator, Senator number 7 in the Sir Lyndon Pinland cabinet. What Philip and Pastor Davis is doing to this country is unheard of. And it will not be accepted by original Bahamians. Now, if y'all want to stand around and waste y'all votes on a man who is intentional for giving away your country and your children's inheritance to some foreigners, then that on you. But as for me and my house, that ain't happening. I was one of the individuals responsible for putting him in, and I will certainly do my endeavor to be responsible for getting him out. Okay? The Bahamas Nationality Act, in my view, is likened to a plan that can be received, or it's similar to a permit. When you're building a building, you get this permit to build this building. The Bahamas Nationality Act has 22 sections. So we will say this building has 22 units or 22 apartments. 4 of the units could not be certified. Now let me explain that. Yes, the building received approval from the Ministry of Works. The permit was given, but when it was time for the occupancy certificate, 4 of them could not get occupancy. Here's the 4. Section 4 of the Bahamas Nationality Act. It speaks to adoption of foreign children. Section 5 speaks to the registration of Commonwealth citizens and British protective citizens of the Commonwealth. Section 6 speaks to the registration of minors. And Section 9 speaks to naturalization. The problem with those 4 sections, even though the act was passed under the 1969 Constitution, when you came into the 1973 Constitution, those 4 could not have been enforced. They could not have been enforced. Now, let me give you reasoning why. You stay with me. Before 1973, the Bahamas was a British colonial colony. Our parliament was known as the Parliament of the Bahama Islands. Citizenship authority was under the UK government, the British, under what we call the 1948 British Nationality Act. Let me read the act to you. An act to make provisions for British nationality and for citizenships of the United Kingdom and colonies. So the Bahamas was included because we were a colony and we were still subjects. This act was approved by the Queen and the Privy Council. In 1964, the Bahama Island Parliament was able to bring in self-governance, all right? Internal self-governance. But the British Parliament still held on to trade, foreign affairs, citizenship, and defense. So our British colonial parliament was still limited in what they were able to do. I brought with me today a copy of the 1963 Bahama Island Constitution Order of 1963. I want you to take note. We are now on to the constitutional law section. We have already dealt with the existential threat, right? This Bahamas Nationality Act is an existential threat. The 1963 Constitution, if you would look at it, starts out in Part 1 dealing with fundamental rights. There was no provision for citizenship to be given in this Constitution by a Bahama Island Parliament. All right? So you got to keep these points in mind. There was no provision because we were still under British rule. Now, Article 41, which is very important. Let me read it to you. I can quote it verbatim, but let me read it. Subject to the provision of this Constitution, the legislature may make law for the peace, order, and good governance of the Bahama Island. Now, citizenship was not mentioned in the 63 Constitution, but the Parliament was still able to make law for the peace, order, and good governance of the Bahama Islands. I'm going somewhere, and you can catch it later. The Bahama Island Constitution of 1969, same thing. If you look at the provisions, there was no provision for citizenship. No provisions in the 69 Constitution. But Article 42 says the same thing. Subject to the provision of the Constitution, this legislation or the legislator may make laws for the peace, order, and good governance of the Bahama Island. Now, here comes the 1973 Constitution. What came before that was the 1973 Order of Independence. The Constitution came to fruition on the 10th of July 1973. The Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is an appendix. It is an appendix of the 1973 Order of Independence. Here is a copy of the 73 Order of Independence. This document was an agreement between the Queen, the Privy, and the people of the Bahamas going into independence. You still with me? Okay. The Constitution, like I said, was an appendix or schedule. It actually explained the 1973 Order of Independence. The Bahamas Nationality Act, if it wanted to be a legal law, should have been passed on the 20th of June, 1973, alongside the Constitution when they presented it to the British Parliament as an addendum. Okay? An addendum is an additional document or what you call a companion piece of legislation. Once it was passed separate, it means that it was not a part of the Constitution. And that is very important. Because the procedure was not followed, here's where the problem started. Now I'm going to read to you the preamble of the Bahamas Nationality Act. And the former Prime Minister and the former Bahama Island Cabinet put a spin on what actually was supposed to happen. And I read, this is the preamble. Before the preamble, an act to provide the acquisition, certification, renunciation, deprivation of citizenship of the Bahamas and the purpose incidental thereunto or connected with. And the preamble reads as follows. Whereas it is proposed upon the attainment of fully independent status, there's an admission. Words are important. They said in the preamble that whereas it is proposed upon attaining of what? Full independence status by the who? Commonwealth of the Bahamas, not the Bahama Island. The Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's a different parliament. Okay?
Yep.
The Constitution will contain certain provisions relating to citizenship of the Bahamas, including the provision for the acquisition of citizenship by birth and descent. So here's a confession that when the Constitution comes forth, there's only certain provisions in it going into independence. The provision for citizenship through birth and the provision by descent. In Latin, the word is called jus sanguinis, the right of blood. America operates under the provision of jus soli, the right of soil. If you're born in America, based on their 14th Amendment, you're automatically a citizen. This is what Donald Trump trying to deal with now. Our Constitution has us in a way better position to deal with our situation than the United States of America. Because the individuals, based on Article 7 of the Constitution, that are applying, have to do so through an application process. We could stop that, like Mr. Bean says. Mr. Bean also said, in the law, there has already been provision. He's quite right. There is provision in the law to stop all this nonsense, you know. To stop it in its track. But we just got lousy politicians. You see all them people slamming on desks, going in the cafeteria eating food? That's all they're good for. They're lousy. They are letting one man who said that he's a Haitian to control all of them. What I don't understand, they spend all their life trying to live, well, not only that, but in an integral life. With integrity. Right? But they would let one man, Philip Edward and Pastor Davis, allow them to pass laws to work against their own children and their mom.
Yeah.
And so, let me continue before my time run out. The second paragraph. And whereas it is considered expedient. Mr. Bean used that word earlier. That's very important. It is considered expedient. Let me give you the meaning of that word. Of an action, convenient and practical, although possibly improper or immoral. Expedient. Let me give you the meaning of that in law. In law, expedient generally means suitable or appropriate to achieve a desired result, even if not necessarily fair or ethical. It can also refer to a measure taken for practical or convenient reasons, sometimes regardless of principles. In other words, the hell with principle. It can be synonymous and advantageous, desirable, or politics. Now, let me go back to the second paragraph. The Bahama Island Parliament said that they passed this law out of expediency, convenience. Not because it was the right thing to do, based on the agreement they had with the Queen. They said a hell with what we signed with the Queen on June 20th and the Privy Council. We can do what expedient or politically advantageous. To hell with ethics and moral. You need to understand that. To provide by law for the acquisition of citizenship by registration, naturalization, and otherwise, for the certification, renunciation, deprivation of such citizenship, and for either matters relating to citizenship, generally with the intent that such a law come into operation simultaneously with the coming into operation of the Constitution. And whereas, by virtue of subsection 2 of section 4 of the Bahamas Independence Order, such a law may be enacted by the legislature of the Bahama Islands before the attainment of fully independence. I can show you right now where they lie on the Queen. And the Privy Council. Okay? Fully independent status, so as to have effect as if that law had been made under the said Constitution by the Parliament of the Bahamas. now therefore be enacted by the Queen, Most High Excellency, and with the advice of, listen to this, and consent of the Senate and the House of Assembly of the Commonwealth of the Bahama Islands. Red flag. Citizenship laws could have only been approved by the British Parliament before the 10th of July 1973. Any other parliament that put in a citizenship law, it was ultra-virus to the Constitution. They did not have the jurisdiction or the legal right to do so. Here's what's important. The Bahamas Nationality Act was enacted on the 5th of July, 5 days before independence. That is the argument. Now, where was the legal right given? So, based on what I read, they say they got their legal right from section 4.2 of the Independence Order. So let's read that. Whereas, this is section 2, 4.2 of the Independence Order. Whereas any matter that falls to be prescribed or otherwise provided for under the Constitution by Parliament, 1, or by any other authority or person is prescribed or provided for by or under an existing law. That word is important. Existing law. Only laws that were made under the 69 Constitution provisions could have been said to be an existing law. Citizenship was not in the 69 Constitution. So the direction they was given to make laws under the existing order would have been the 69 Constitution. But there's no provision for citizenship. So when they pass a citizenship law under the 69 Constitution, it was ultra-virus. Now look at that as a legal argument. Secondly, including any amendment to any such law under this section. So if they wanted to amend anything, including any amendment under this section, or otherwise prescribed or provided for immediately before the appointed day by or under the existing order. What they did, they went and cut a deal with the Queen and her Privy Council on June 20th, 1973. 15 days later, they came to the Bahamas. Well, they came back on the 26th and laid that before the Bahama Island Parliament. 15 days later, they went and passed their own law, which was against the agreement they had with the Queen, because the UK government was still responsible for citizenship laws upwards to 1201, 1973, July 10th. For citizenship laws upwards to 1201, 3. So, have the effect with such modification, adoption, qualification, and exception as may be necessary to bring it into conformity with the Bahamas Independence Act 1973 and this order, watch this now, as if it had been made under the Constitution by Parliament or it didn't just say by Parliament. There was a choice. By Parliament or, as the case may require, by the other authority or person. That particular law was supposed to be made by the other authority because they had an option. They couldn't make that decision, so the other authority was the British Parliament, who was responsible for making that decision. Ah, you missed it, man. You're going to get it later. See, it didn't say by Parliament and then make the law. By Parliament and then or. The other authority. So what authority? The authority, what was responsible for citizenship. That was the British Parliament. Or by the other person. That would have been Sir John Boyton Paul, who was the governor at the time. But he did not have jurisdiction over citizenship. That belonged to the British Parliament. You follow? Okay. Based on that, the Bahamas Nationality Act, sections of the act, because the act was passed, but you got to pick out sections of it that is inconsistent with the Constitution. The citizenship section in Part 2 is inconsistent with the Constitution. Sections 4, Sections 5, Section 6, and Section 9 would deal with naturalization. You see all them people in the paper every day? They ain't no citizen. Based on what I told you. Those sections of the Bahamas Nationality Act is not a law. Why? It confers no rights. It imposes no duties. It affords no protection. And it creates no office. In legal contemplation, it is as if the law was never passed. You hear me? I can wrap this up in 10 minutes. I believe that's all the time I got. Here's what was supposed to have happened after independence, July 10, 1973. Let me read to you Article 13. Parliament may make provision for the acquisition of citizenship of the Bahamas by persons who do not become citizens of the Bahamas by virtue of the provision of this chapter. Let me explain that to you. The Constitution and the Order of Independence, the Constitution what became the Constitution on July 10th, based on the Order of Independence, was enacted on June 20th, but its commencement date was on July 10th. A law is not valid until its commencement date, not when it was enacted. Let me give you an example. President Donald Trump, he became president-elect in November of last year. 4th or 5th? 4th. But Joe Biden still held the power until January 20th. So any executive order that Donald Trump made within that period was invalid. Joe Biden was still in charge. This is what is happening with what I'm showing you. The Bahamas Nationality Act has a procedural problem with those articles. Okay? The ladies would understand this. I call the Bahamas Nationality Act a Braxton Hicks Contraction Act. No, it's fake. It's fake. False labor. The Braxton Hicks. That's what the Bahamas Nationality Act, Section 4, 5, 6, and 7 is. False labor. And so, here's the procedure on that. Okay? Quickly. Let's go to Article 54. Article 54.3. Because the additional citizenships, the order for that never came in until after independence. You couldn't do that before. Because the Constitution never came into force until July 10, 1973. Upwards to that date, the 69 Constitution was still in force. So after independence, Parliament may make provision. Not before. After independence, Parliament may make provision. The thing about that provision, it is subject to Article 54. They could not do it unilaterally. It had to go through a referendum. Okay? It had to go through a referendum. The Bahamas Nationality Act, Sections 4, 5, 6, and 7, in relation to citizenship, has a procedural problem because they never took it to a referendum after independence. That ain't no law. The Privy Council got to tell me that's a law. So you'll get your money together. Okay? Let me read the instructions. Insofar as it alters Article 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Any of the provisions of the Bahamas Independence Act 1973. Here's what has to happen. A bill for an act of Parliament under this article shall not be passed by Parliament. Shall not be passed by Parliament. Okay? Let's listen to the words. Words are important. Unless At the final voting therein, in each house, it is supported by the votes of not less than 3/4 of all of the members of the House of Assembly. And the bill, after its passage through both houses, has been submitted to the electors, that's me and you, qualified to vote for the election of members of the House of Assembly. And on a vote taken in such manner as Parliament may be prescribed, the majority of electors have approved the bill. Me and you approve any Nationality Act? Was there any bill put forth to amend or alter the Constitution to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas in relation to the Bahamas Nationality Act? So, after the bill would have been passed, it had to come to us. When it came to us, here's the procedure. Article 63.3. I gave you earlier Article 54.3. Now here's Article 63.3. Any bill which Article 54.2 or 54.3 of this Constitution applies shall be presented to the Governor General, endorsed with certificates of the President of the Senate and the Speaker that it has been passed by the requisite majority in accordance with whichsoever of those paragraphs apply to the bill, and with a certificate of the parliamentary registrar that it has been approved by the majority of electors voting on the bill. Boy, you see how they swing us for 52 years? First of all, they pass an unconstitutional law, sections 4, 5, 6, and 9, and the last part of section 7. Lord Kenneth Diplock in the Privy Council ruled that. Well, I'm paraphrasing, but he did rule against Proviso 7, the last part. 3/4 of the votes from the House, 3/4 of the votes from the Senate. And what the Governor General needed in order to sign off from that is an endorsed certificate from the President of the Senate of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, an endorsed certificate from the Speaker of the House of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and an endorsed certificate from the parliamentary registrar. If they can't produce those documents, especially the latter, ain't nothing happening with that act. My last 5 minutes. What I am about to read to you is a ruling that happened on Tuesday, the 24th of July, 1979, in the Darcy Ryan case. Okay? The government of the Bahamas was trying to stop Darcy Ryan, who had a belonging status under the 1963 Immigration Act, from getting citizenship by using the latter part of Section 7 of the Bahamas Nationality Act. Lord Diplock said that what they did was inconsistent with the Constitution. The latter part of the Bahamas Nationality Act was inconsistent with the Constitution. Why was that important? If the Bahamas Nationality Act was passed under the Constitution, it could not have been inconsistent with the Constitution. So the mere fact, the Privy Council ruled that the Bahamas Nationality Act was inconsistent with the Constitution, it means that it was never part of the Constitution. So it was a separate statute. Chapter 1, Article 2. The Constitution is the supreme law of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Subject to the provision of this Constitution, if any other law is inconsistent with this Constitution, the Constitution shall prevail, and the other law, to the extent of its inconsistency, is void. That's the law. Constitution. 3 minutes. Here is what our Chief Justice said concerning citizenship in the Bahamas. The determination of who is or who is not a Bahamian citizen begins with a reference to Chapter 2 of the Constitution. The Constitution recognizes various routes of citizenship depending on a place of birth. That's Article 6 and 7. B, the status of a mother and a father in addition to marital status. C, marriage to a male citizen. That's Article 10. And D, presence in the country before the 10th of July, 1973. That's Articles 3, 4, and 5. It's 8 articles that you can get citizenship under. They are all covered. What is not covered, or what he did not say, was that you could have gotten it through adoption in the Bahamas Nationality Act. What he did not say is you could have got it through registration as a British protected or Commonwealth citizen. What he did not say is you could have gotten it through registration of a minor. What he did not say is you could have gotten it through naturalization. You know why? They are not laws. The Constitution expects Parliament to make laws for the attainment of citizenship rights conferred under Chapter 2 of the Constitution. Citizenship rights conferred where? Under what? Chapter 2 of what? The Constitution, not the Bahamas Nationality Act. The Bahamas Nationality Act sought to fulfill those obligations. You know what the Bahamas Nationality Act role is? Legislation, a machinery for that to be accomplished, not to give citizenship. Now, it's my last document, so you know I finished, right? Mr. Bain mentioned this several months ago, where he introduced the public to the naturalizations that was done recently. About 774 individuals got citizenship under that fraudulent Bahamas Nationality Act. All these people here naturalized. What Mr. Bain presented several months ago. They didn't get it through registration under Article 7. They got it through Section 9 of the Bahamas Nationality Act, which the Bahamian people is going to challenge. Here is the problem. Here's the problem. We spoke about this existential threat. We spoke about a man that was born in Haiti that trying to put all these people in Parliament, Fred Smith. We spoke about the former president of Haiti, Michel Martelly, telling them, form this bloc and make Bahamians your slave. Make them do what y'all want them to do. I read it. You got a Haitian president came on our sovereign soil and threatened us. Boy, something wrong with us. But anyhow, an average Haitian household has about 5 Haitians. You could Google it. So if you multiply 774 times 5 people, that's 3,870 citizens. Why I say multiply? Let me show you what happens here. When someone gets a naturalization paper, based on Section 4 of the Nationality Act, they could adopt all their children within Haiti. Because there's a citizen. Section 6, he even spoke about not only parents, but guardians. So a parent or a guardian. So you could adopt your cousin, or your cousin could adopt you. Jesus, man. Multiply 20,000 people by that number. That's 100,000 by 5. If you multiply 100,000 by 5, that's 500,000. Haiti got about 13 million people. If we allow this act to continue, just like what Mr. Bain said, we will be no longer. See, we need a wake-up call. You understand me? We need to have that epiphany moment. This is why I am on board on getting rid of the PLP and the F&M. These people actually trying to take our country from our children. When you vote, don't look at the wrong C. Don't look at contract. Look at your children. I don't care how much stall white consular you is in these party. The PLP right now could solve this problem. Like Mr. Bean say, it's in the law. Listen, man, change the color of the passport to orange. Bring your man, your power, birth certificate, and yours. Problem solved. But no. We got a bunch of gangsters and criminals. In closing, Frank Rancine, which Mr. Bean brought to our attention, was born in Haiti in 1968. Never filled out an application form and did not renounce. How did he get citizenship? You know why? We got criminals in the House of Assembly and criminals in the Philip, Edward, Imposter, Davis cabinet.
Yeah.
May God continue to bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Yeah. 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 You all see why I like this young man? This another one I could listen to all day. All day. This man need to be an MP. But ladies and gentlemen, while these gentlemen were speaking, the government decided that they wanted to have a press conference. All right? Yeah, so they decided to have a press conference. So while 12,000 people were on there listening to us, they had 4,000 people there listening to them. So I think more people were interested in us than what they had to say, and they the government. Yeah. So I think people are fed up and people are tired. All right. So but he said some things, and let me just address a couple of things that he said, because Wayne is now watching this. Hello, Wayne. Wayne mostly addressed the F&M. They like to pretend that we don't exist. You know, like, yeah. You know, like when you walk in the yard and you see a pit bull, you pretend that he in there. You try to keep a straight face. If you don't look at him, he in there. So they can feel us in a minute, though. All right. He said a couple of things. He said that no one enters this country without a visa. That literally came out of his mouth. So I guess he's talking about when they come here on plane. I guess he's talking about that. I have to give him the benefit of the doubt because he can't be that crazy. But
That's the e-visa.
the new e-visa, they're making everything easy for them.
No, the e-visa when they come to them.
Yeah, the e-visa. So I just wanted to say to him that we know they are coming here with visas. The problem is how they getting these visas. How do you get a visa when your whole government shut down? Where you getting your documents from to apply for the visas? So yeah, we know they're getting the visas. How are they getting the visas? All right? They're buying them under the table. That's the problem, and that's what they're not addressing. He says that this government knows when they arrive and they know when they leave. Well, that's easy because they ain't leaving. He says that our immigration system is now stronger than ever. What he mean is it's making more money than ever by selling our birthright. He said that they have invested millions in the system to make it more stronger. That's probably like them millions what they spend on the drones. Yeah, them imaginary millions. He says there's not enough skilled Bahamian labor in the country, so they have to let them people in. How many of y'all know some man or woman in construction who trying to get a job right now? How much? Man, that's everyone. So all these Bahamians trying to get a job, but they saying that we need more skilled labor. Well, they don't bring skill. They always doing shabby work. Your masonry always mess up. You always warp or bend. What skilled labor? No skilled labor. But here's the problem. They said they make sure that no one is doing a job Bahamians can do. Right? Now, I'll admit, they said that they formed a department in labor to be able to vet every application to make sure that no Bahamian had applied for that. Let me show you how good our investigation skills is. They didn't form no department for that, like Brave said. They lied. I'm sorry for saying that strong word, but they lied. Grammy said a story. They moved one woman who was a senior civil servant from her section and put her in charge of this so-called new department. She had a whole office. She's a senior woman. And they gave her one kiosk on Carmichael Road. Her name is Brightly Miller. You see, I call her name, right? And they put Brightly Miller in one kiosk, and they ain't give her no office. And after having there for the kiosk, then they had no office for her. So what that mean? They had no kiosk. He said they had the largest promotions in immigration history. He said they had the largest promotions in immigration history. He said they removed the shanty towns. My Bahamian people, that is a lie. The shanty town still right there. They removed some houses in the shanty town after they found alternative housing for those people, and your money from social services paid for them to be relocated. While they were throwing Bahamians out of the shelters, while you go into social services and can't get no help, your money was paying for them. Don't be fooled by their lies. That is a travesty. He said they expanded the manpower. They hired more people. He said it at the Summit of America in LA, the Bahamas didn't sign. Nobody signed. That wasn't a signatory thing. That was just an agreement. We could start sending the people back. That wasn't nothing to sign. So they came back and said, oh, we didn't sign. Nobody signed. It was just a declaration that all us get together, take picture. If you're inside, why are you standing up there taking picture with them? And the people who didn't agree to it didn't take picture with them. Were you lost? You didn't know which picture you was in? This for me? Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, someone asked him, one of the reporters asked him, why you respond so fast? Like normally you don't respond this fast because COI and F&M was making their statements. You say it is rhetoric for whatever purpose. There's always rhetoric. So why this time you have to respond? That's what the ZNS reporter asked him. And I can tell you, I don't remember what he said because I was listening to these fellas while I was talking to him, but I could answer for him, election coming. Oh, this is the application process for the new e-visa. All right, I can let you read this yourself because we opening the floor. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, our nation is in trouble. We're in some serious problems. And there's one solution. We have to take that pen from them crooked people's hands. Because they're using the pen to sell our birthright instead of to empower people. And so the only solution to this is we got to take the government. Protesting and begging them to do the right thing, that's not going to work at this point. They don't care what you say. They're making money. There's billions of dollars in illegal immigration. That is bigger than the drug industry. That's bigger than the numbers industry. From one of them people, they could get $8,000 just when they come, when they first reach. That's the first step. You don't spend $8,000 on numbers in a year. No. That's big money. And so that's why they're letting it happen. And they're selling us out. Your children can't fight this battle. What's to come? We got to fight this for them. We got to fight this for them. This is going to get rough, you know. Them people mouth already hard. The Chinese already beating Bahamians. And I see Bahamians recording and laughing. You think if you beating the Chinese in China, they can watch and laugh? You think you beating a Haitian in Haiti, they can watch and laugh? You all better get together and stand together and defend your country. That's all we got. And so I can say some more in a minute, but I want to open the floor to you all because it's about you all. The government ain't concerned with what we got to say, you know. They're concerned with what you thinking because you the voters. And how are we going to win this? It's each of y'all in here. When we call, you come. That's the first thing. Secondly, we need you to spread the message. There's some people out there who don't believe and they don't understand or whatever. That's your job to deal with them. If you wake up in the middle of the night in the house on fire and you run to the next room and you tell them, wake up, wake up, wake up, and they listen, leave me alone, man, leave me alone. You can't lose patience with them. You got to wake them up. You are awake. You are feeling the heat. You know the smoke is there. Your job is to deal with your household, your co-workers, your church members, to deal with the people around you because the country is in trouble. And you're seeing it and hearing it every day. We can't lose this. This is all we got. This is it. I ain't going to know what country to go. Some of us done gone Canada and we done back. Some of us done gone America and we done back. That's their country. So it's important that if you in the bank line, someone say something, you bring up the conversation. You find a way that you talk to them. You beat that in their head. Because this is important. They talking with basketball, you bring up this country. We got to save this nation. All right? So what I want to do right now, I'm going to continue to have some more stuff to say. But ladies and gentlemen, you can get your paraphernalia from us at this headquarters any day from 9 to 5. You can come there and get your T-shirts, your caps, your flags, your COI flags, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you get them. In fact, you get some today. Don't leave without them. Right? Someone, y'all organize and make sure people could get their stuff before they leave if they want it. But make sure you get your paraphernalia. It's time for us to start showing the government we serious. Let them see us. Let them see there's a whole army coming for them. And we are not afraid. And so every day, 9 to 5, you come right here. And also, just so you know, people who might understand, my Pinewood headquarters is my Pinewood headquarters. That's still open. All right? And that's still open every day. And in fact, I going on the ground tomorrow, so who won't come with me, come. We'll be at Pinewood headquarters tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And so we'll be there from 5 o'clock, so join me, and we go in. We got to take Pinewood. How much you all know they won't come for Pinewood? They want that. They can spend plenty of money there. We can still take it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to open the floor for you all. Just be conscious of the time, but for your comments and for your questions, whatever questions you have, if something you don't understand, you can address the questions. Or if you just want to say something to the government, let them hear you. Let them hear you raw. So someone turn the mic to the crowd, and persons could go in the aisle right there. Someone turn the mic, put the mic right in the middle there. No, use that one. Use that one. So it stands right up. So you don't have to hold it. Yeah, just turn that, put that in the middle of the floor. Oh, that tape down, eh? Yeah, just turn it around. Yeah, that's fine. So if you want to have a question or comment, you just come right here, and you speak in the mic.
Good evening, all of my.
Make sure it's on.
Testing 1, 2.
Oh, you might as well leave it to the podium then.
Good evening, my people, my organic state Bahamians, and all of my patrons. Listen, this is our last opportunity. Yes. This is our last opportunity. Bahamas, gang. If you all love God, if you all love the family, if you all love God, the family, that's, we have to save this country.
Yes, sir.
As Blackmail have said, Professor Thompson, and the next president, prime minister of this commonwealth of the Bahamas, which is Lincoln Bain. I was doing some little research, and I came up about with the Haitians and how they're coming through the airport, and they're using something called the e-visa. It's a digital visa. You can apply online. And you can, between 1 and 24 days, you can get approved. There was a police officer who saw a Haitian guy, and he had a backpack, and they pulled him aside and said they want to search him. So he had his Haitian passport inside his backpack. So when he pulled it out, he said, I'm tourist. Because he came on a tourist visa, the E-visa. But there's an I-visa.
Talk in the mic, please, because I can't hear you.
There's an I-visa. They're traveling on a tourist visa here, which you can fill it online. Actually, a visa for 1 week, for the regular visa, you could pay $100. For 3 months, it's $110. For 3 years, you can pay $500. Now, here it is.
Yes.
Here it is. I'm reading something here from, I asked the question, is Haitian exempted from applying for e-visa? An AI told me, says, Haitians are not exempted from applying for e-visa to enter the Bahamas. In fact, the Bahamas required all Haitian citizens to obtain a valid visa before entry. The e-visa application process is available for Haitians. and it considered a relatively straightforward process with a difficulty rate of 29/100. To apply for a Bahamas e-visa, Haitians will need to provide required documents, including visa passport, a valid passport with at least 6 months valid current visa from either the US or UK, Canada. It says, to support their stay in the Bahamas, travel itinerary and accommodation detail, including flight information, hotel reservation. I know where the hotels be, in the shanty town. Hotel reservation, supporting document such as proof of employment, like if say they bring them, or student status. The Bahamas visa allow for single, multiple entry option, valid for up to 1 year. Maximum stay, 90 days per entry. Processing time, 7 days to 24 days, depending on the select service. And I went on to say, Haitian can apply for an e-visa online through a service. And this is what I believe Louis George and them who use this, educating the Haitians. They said, Haitians can apply for an e-visa online through a service like iVisa. Go check that out, iVisa, which offer different processing speed, including standard rush and super rush. So, and this iVisa is located, you know, they have them all over the United States. This one is in Collins Avenue in the United States in Florida. So I believe they're using this. It's coming through the airport with this e-visa. Now, I understand most countries is getting rid, and they're controlling that. So when you come in, they know exactly where you are at and when you can leave. And what they're using it for, most of them come through the Bahamas to try to get into the other islands to get into Florida. I was doing something on the U.S., so that's why the U.S. is so strong with the Bahamas, because that's where all the human trafficking coming through the Bahamas. So the government, the Haitian Philip Brave Davis, who don't love God, who don't love the organic seed Bahamian, and who don't love this country. I have said this on numerous occasions, that Philip Brave Davis is a traitor. Now go look at the word traitor and tell me, Bahamians, tell me if Philip Brave, the Haitian Davis, is not a traitor. Tell me, Bahamians, if Philip Brave Davis has committed treason in this country. I told Cassandra Knowles, you are the chief constable, only sitting in the office as commissioner. Go and arrest Philip Brave Davis as being a traitor and commit treason in this country on the Bahamian people. God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thank you. Anyone else? Questions or comments? The mic is yours. You let Brave and Pintard hear y'all. Don't be shy.
Hi, good evening.
Go close, go close. Go to the mic.
My question is that should anyone who wants to be Prime Minister of the Bahamas, should they have Bahamian parents, both Bahamian parents, and not just one? Because this is the problem now we're having with Mr. Davis now. He does not have full Bahamian parents. And we need Bahamian parents on both to be Prime Minister. I think that should be something mandatory in our country. You want to be Prime Minister? Both Bahamian and generation, right. Your parents, your grandparents, you're supposed to be able to trace your lineage way back in this country to be Prime Minister in this country. Also, with I work on a construction site. I'm in the construction field, and the site I on is 99% Haitian. 99% Haitian, and they doing everything. I call it greedy contractors because they don't want to pay the Bahamian. They'll rather hire an unskilled Haitian before they hire an unskilled Bahamian. The Bahamians needs the jobs they need to learn too. So if you give it to the Haitian, you train the unskilled Haitian, why you can't train the unskilled Bahamian? Give them a chance. We need our Bahamians back on the site. There's many sites I've been on, and it's all Haitian. We are the only Bahamians who are there. Everyone else were Haitians. And I think that should change. I don't think that is fair. I don't think the law allows that. I think it was something in the law, I don't know, but where you only could have so many Haitians or so many foreigners on the job site. But we have literally, when you go, they talking all day. I don't know whether it's fine stuff to talk about. All day they talking in an all Creole. It should be mandatory that you speak English in our country. One tried to tell me I got to speak his language. I say, not in my country. We didn't invite you here. You speak my language. Don't tell me I have to speak your language. And I was somewhere when this is a Bahamian. She was talking and she was saying that we should learn a bit the language so we can know what they're saying. I say no. We should not sell our birthright like Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of porridge. That is what we're doing. That's what Davis is trying to do. Sell our birthright. We can't do that. We gotta get rid of this. It should be mandatory. Even if you on our site, speak English. You could be setting us up. We don't know what you're saying. These were sent back here. They were sent and find out some of them were prisoners. They sent back here. So that's what I'm dealing with on the site. We are in the minority on our construction sites. We need our Bahamians back on the site. The contractors need to stop being greedy and keep that money in their pocket and from hiring these people and giving them anything. Let's get our Bahamas back. Let's get our Bahamians and our construction sites back.
Yeah, that first point you made was an important point. In Haiti, you must be a Haitian of origin by law, by constitution, to run for any office in their country. A Haitian of origin and own land. In America, you must be an American born in America, all right? The soil, born in America in order to become president. They're protecting their sovereignty.
That's right.
But people say we hate other people because we want to protect ours. And so that is important. But let me make this clear to you. The others, I don't know why they can't do this or don't want to do this. But I'm Lincoln Bain. I was born in Nassau, New Providence, on Morley Street, not in PMH, on Morley Street, on top of the hill across from Big Boys. That's where I born. All right? My father was Henry Bain. He was born in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island. All right? His father was Michael Bain. He was born in Acklands, Mason Bay. His daddy was Charles Bain, born in Acklands. His father was William Bain, born in Acklands. My daddy, mommy, Irma Bain, was born in Crooked Island. All right? And so I could go my whole lineage. My mother was born in Nassau but raised in in Barratari, and then moved to Rollville, all right, in Exuma. All right? And they grew up in Camp Road. As Camp Road people. And her mother was born in Nassau, New Providence. She's a roll bow. All right? Now I want Pinta do that.
Yeah.
And I want Brave do that.
Yeah.
Only one blood streaming through my veins. That's Bahamian blood. Bahamian blood.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can we have all those 1 second who may have a comment? Come on this side of the room for me so we can make sure we're organized.
This y'all day now. Talk. Don't be shy. Brave them watching.
All right, listen here, Bahamians. I have a problem with Bahamians. And I can tell you why. When they travel, or when they abroad, or they coming to find you. Man, I'm proud to be a Bahamian. But when you come in this here, what happened to the Bahamians? Why we can't stand up? Why we can't stand up? Brave Davis and the rest of y'all, look here, man, time has come for y'all to roll out. Okay? I'm speaking as a Bahamian. Okay? A Haitian could get on his truck and have 1 million Haitian there to go to wake and not a Bahamian there and be treated up? Hell no! Okay? Bahamians, wake up. This your last call. You ever go to the club and you drink and the light come on and say this is the last alcohol? Okay? Well, let's get drunk and let's do it. Okay? Because we need to change these things. Mr. Gardner done said, Lincoln, and I'm proud of him for a man to step up, the brave Davis and whoever. Get your picture, let's get funky with it. I mean, funky like a monkey. And I'm serious. Okay? I'm serious. Because you get grand train and turn. Okay? And they going to take our things. Our thing, when Brave stand up there and say he is the prime minister and get on the horn and start dancing, he said, ain't nobody into that. Okay? Okay, we ain't got no Haitian music, we got Bahamian music. And from Bahamian music was American music. Okay? So he need to stop your nonsense, Brave Davis. Look at me good. Look at me good. That big Lincoln there. But this the big O. The big O. I can say it like how Otis went and said, I got you out. Okay? Okay? Time for a change. Wake up, Bahamians. Wake up, Bahamians. Wake up, Bahamians. From north, south, east, west. Why we can't hold hand and close the house and send me down? What's wrong with Bahamians? Because you ain't got a job in there. Who give a doggone if you ain't got a job? Stand up for your country. Stand up for your country. Be proud of your country. Okay, I don't blame Trump, you know. I don't blame Trump. So time for us to wake up, okay? Ain't no time to be bull cropping. That's the last of us. Okay? My ma done gone, my pa done gone. And I sure most of your parents are gone. Who we gotta look at these little grandchildren? Lincoln, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. For a long time, these things was hidden in the corner. Okay? With two set of people in this country. Black Bahamians and County Joe. They Bahamians. Okay? Haitians, them come here, we train them. Now they telling us what they gonna do and what they gonna do. Oh boy, I on the battlefield. I on the battle, and who get me? The good master. Let me tell you all something here, man. And I'm serious as a monkey. Because I know you all saying that to me. I don't give. Okay? I'm serious. Ain't nobody gonna take my country. Now, one thing Pittman said with sense, if you want your country, fight for it. You want your country, fight for it. Okay? If they want to buy y'all out, let them buy y'all out. But don't vote for them. Y'all got to stand up to these politicians. Politicians only know you when time to get in the house. Okay? When they get in there, they don't know you. Chester Cooper, look at me good. Stay off your phone pretending that you're talking to somebody. Okay? Brave, stop talking through your teeth now. This is a serious matter. Okay? Perry, you mess it up. Hubert, you mess it up. Okay? And Brave, you coming on, you on finish yet? Bull crop. Okay? Bull, now, if you all Bahamians scared to come up to this mic and talk, then you all ain't no Bahamians. Wake up! Wake up, Bahamians. That's all I can say to y'all. I'm proud to be a Bahamian. What did the last song Smokey say? I am a Bahamian.
First and foremost, I'd like to say good afternoon to everybody as a proud Bahamian and from the constituency of Carmichael, where we have our sitting MPs sitting here. What I want to say is that, You know, with every work permit and every work visa, they should have a national ID. If you come in to be a carpenter, you should have a carpenter form. You shouldn't be doing carpentry and painting, or carpentry and driving bus, or carpentry and doing other things. So if you come in as a carpenter, you should have saying carpentry, what day you came in, where you work, who's your boss, and an expiry date on the back. So if a Bahamian asks you, well, where's your identification card? You could say, well, here, this is my identification card. And you could turn it over and say, well, this is expired. And if it is expired, we should have a number that we could call and say, hey, look, there's a man working here. His ID is expired. You understand? And so we as Bahamians, we have to take a stand. This is going to be our last election. Trust me, I'm telling you. Because I live in Carmichael Road, and every morning I get up, I sit on my wall with my two wall collect. The foreign faces passing every day, and every time they go out, they come back with 4 other fellas with them. You understand? And every foreigner in this country tomorrow morning will be working on a job site. As I understand it, that Atlantis and those other places are just hiring them and sub it out. We need a serious wake up in this Bahamas. All of the gas station, all the security jobs, now taxis, now buses, and they're making this place their own. This is our last election, people. This is our last election. And don't mind, they're flooding the Rhode Island. They're flooding the voting block. That's what they're doing. They're flooding the voting block. You understand? And all of the vacant homes, I don't know if you all noticed it, all of the vacant homes in my community, you walk by and you don't see no light in the day. But at night, you could see the little light through the curtain. And you know the house is abandoned. The apartments are abandoned. But the people are there. You understand? And by 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, they're out of there. So the home is still abandoned. You understand? So we as Bahamians, we need to take a stand. We need to get this country back. I'm a Bahamian, 100%, on and off the job. And I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Bain, for the excellent job that you're doing. Blackmail, I'd like to thank you because when I first listened to you, I learned a whole lot. And it's surprising me that there is no legal firm that would take on this problem that we're having, even though they know the Constitution. You understand me? They know the Constitution. Nobody's here coming for us. We have to rescue ourselves. Amen. And I thank you, Mr. Bain, for this moment and this time. I'm in Carmichael Road. I'll come see you later.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Xavier Cartwright. I'm the second vice president of the Coalition Youth Association.
Yeah.
Yes. So my excellent leaders have been doing a great job in terms of leading, or at least trying to lead the country in the right way. And I believe as though that in New Providence, I do see the issue where, well, across the Bahamas itself, we do see the issue where we do have our Haitian counterparts coming in. They are getting jobs faster. They are getting in places faster than Bahamians would normally do. And that is a rising issue. And I've always said that the POP and the F&M is just a big ping-pong. You know, with the COI, it's time to come in. You know, as we say, change ain't coming, change is here. So with that being said, we need to do things to implement. Well, we are implementing ways so that we can stop this corruption. Now, it's not about being ignorant to the situation, and we're not trying to spread hate, but we must pay attention to the crucial details of what's going on when we can have our Bahamian brothers and sisters. We don't try to uplift them, but then we notice our Haitian counterparts, they come and they uplift one another. And see, what we need to really pinpoint is, we need to do the job of more so micromanaging what's really happening. Because we're not doing enough of that. We have too much corruption going on because it's all about a big money game. There's no actually trying to help or assist or trying to give the right person a chance. It's more so about what is there to gain. And we at the COI, that's not what we stand for. So, as I say again, I just want to be brief. Change isn't coming, change is here. And we are striving to make this Bahama land a better Bahama land for not just the generations who are here, but the generations who are coming. Thank you, everybody.
That's awesome. Before you start, I just want to make, you go to the mic, announcement. I'm hearing that some Bahamians were killed in Haiti today. Yeah, some Bahamians were killed in Haiti. And also some Bahamians were killed in Abaco by persons allegedly of Haitian descent. And so I'm just trying to get the details on that. So we'll have the real update on that. Crime is a serious issue. And we cannot get numb to crime in this country because we are losing our men and women and we're losing our young people. And the illegal immigrants are coming here and taking over crime. They got the guns, they got the drugs, they got the money, and they are killing our young men. And we got to fix this country. And we're going to need leadership with an iron hand to fix this country. And that's what we're going to do. All right? Next week, when we come here, so my live is going to be by a studio audience. I want y'all to come out next week because next week, we're going to be talking about crime. We have to address that, and we have to deal with the issues. The Privy Council ruling on hanging murderers, the age of sexual consent, these children who are going missing. A lot of people are going missing, and they have never found them. And I told y'all what was going to happen when we started getting flooded in by these other people, that people were going to start going missing. And everything that I've been saying to you is coming to pass. I'll get into that some more next week when we come here. So next week, the show is going to be live again. Yeah, we paying production crew and everything. We getting whole. All right, we making sure the whole country can hear us and see us doing this right. All right, so next week we'll be right here, Sunday at 5 o'clock. And so you make sure that you hear. We're going to talk about crime in this country. Go ahead, young lady.
Good night, everyone. My name is, a little short, sorry. My name is Alexia Brown. I'm the council representative of the Youth Alliance. I would just like to say I really do love my country. It's just that the things that are happening in my country right now is making me really embarrassed to say that I'm a Bahamian, and that should not be the case. First of all, I'm in my own country. I have to wait till the Haitians get straight with a job before I could go get a job. See what I'm saying? And then the Haitians don't have to worry about getting discriminated because of what party they go into, because they're getting paid by the PLP and the F&M. So they don't have job discrimination. It's only the Bahamian people. We hide in our face because we're trying to protect our reputation from a job that cares about what party we go to, which is very, very interesting because I haven't seen the PLP or F&M do anything for this government yet. We still have potholes in the roads. We dropping in bumps every single day. We get them craters in the road. Our cars getting messed up. We don't have no proper jobs. We don't have no sensible money for the social services. We don't have nothing. But the Haitians could send money to Haiti every other week. Thousands. I see this firsthand. I went in the bank to just open up an account. I see the man next to me, Haitian accent, Haitian nationality. I want to send 50,000 to Haiti. I say, I'm sorry, what? But I had to mind my business, but how is it that Haitians making more than the Bahamians? How is it that the Haitians in my country where I grew up in, they making more than us? And see, when the children come out of school, we can't get no job. I've been out of school from 2021. They hire the Jamaicans first. They hire the Haitian first. And the Chinese say they don't trust Bahamians. In our country now. In our country, they don't trust Bahamians.
So we don't trust them.
We don't trust them. They can go carry their dog and cat too. We ain't cat with them. They don't trust us, so they won't be hiring Haitians. This generation right here, I am happy to say this is my generation. No one is going to buy my vote. No one is going to swing me with couple $1,000. Actually, I'm going to take y'all money because that's my inheritance. And I'm still going to vote for the correct party because y'all ain't making no sense. PLP and the F&M was doing a very terrible job raising people light bill, raising people, they been doing a bunch of foolishness. All these taxes, all these things going on in the Bahamas. And the Haitians just living lavishly, selling their fruits and vegetables on the side of the road. They living lavishly, thieving land, living on it comfortable, hanging out their clothes everywhere they could find. No, you go to Abaco. I was in Abaco. Oh my goodness! Every time I turned my head, what? Sorry, I in Nassau. I in Haiti. I in Abaco. Where am I? The confusion with the immigration situation is terrible. I can't just say it's the Haitians. It's also the Chinese. I think on Soldier Road, you drive down Soldier Road, you see about 4 Chinese bars. Everywhere you drive, you see Chinese bars. And the Chinese is catch you good, you know. They have these nice little specials. Oh, you could get your little dollar bag ice, your little $3 Skinners, your little $4 collect. See what I'm saying? Catching you really, really good. But all I'm saying is, this my generation. Please make the right decision for us. Because if y'all don't fight for us, we ain't gonna have a country.
Get all good. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I have all kind of things going on with me. Well, I work on the beach, right? Well, I don't like to work for nobody, so I like to try on my own little business. I go on my beach and park to say I'm going to get a spot. When I reach there, the girl tell me, hold on, I can get someone from the back to talk to you. When she bring the person from the back, I say the girl was about 24 years old, 25 years old, and that's what she telling me. Say, you know Brave? I say, what you mean if I know Brave? That time I got a live recorded. I just didn't put a face up, right? So I say, what you mean if I know Brave? She said, listen to this. The only way you could get a spot on this beach, you got to know Brave. I say, hold on. So there's some bias thing or something, eh? Or there's, like, only people who with PLP could get a spot on the beach, eh? She say, you gotta know Brave. You know Brave? I say, me tell you something. I got you recording, you know. And I know Brave, but I don't deal with them. So at the end of the day, I trying to come here to get a spot on the beach, and y'all don't want to give it to me. Y'all got Haitians on the beach. Y'all got Africans on the beach. Y'all got Jamaicans on the beach. But y'all want to run me off the beach as a Bahamian. So I say, me tell you something, girl. I get my souvenirs riding my bike, and no one could run me off the beach, and especially there's a public beach. Well, I scare my 2 children out on the beach, my 2 boys, one 11, one 12 years old. Right? I just make it out good, caught is good, you know. Now, we going on a long walk, because I try to go to all the beach to be selling the souvenir. When I reach on long walk for 2-3 days ago, he worked the Ministry of Tourism. He can tell me, hey, you can't go down there, no selling, no jewels for you. I say, what? I say, I have a disability. And I supposed to have voice privilege in this country. I say, I don't collect national insurance, I don't go to social service, and I'm making ends meet to feed me and my family. And I say, you trying to run me off the beach with a disability when you got Haitian on the beach, you got Jamaicans on the beach, and you got all these people on the beach. Well, I ain't going back to that beach no more, because I leave that alone. If I could make 300-400 on this beach, I leave that one alone because I won't get into too much problems, you know. Oh, to say this, right? I gone home one evening. I live in Bairstown constituency. I say, man, I feel like eating some nice Bahamian peas and rice and one piece of fish because I like only eat fish, a pescatarian, right? So I say, where I could get some nice Bahamian food from right now, right? When I think about it, I say, the only restaurants in Bairstown is Haitians. Hey, I say, well, mother sick. I gotta eat them every morning for breakfast, and then I gotta eat them for dinner too. My Lord. But hey, I ain't gonna lie. I be fighting hard, talking hard, and everything. This country gone to the dogs. Man, hey, me tell you another story. Listen to that. I ride my bike, because I was riding motorbike. I ride my bike getting out west. I shouldn't them blowing off the road, right? So now, they blow some dirt in my eye. So I turn back around. When I turn back around, I say, boy, when you all see motorbike coming, you all try stop blow road. So they say, oh, what happened to you? I say, boy, what happened to me? Like what? But I say, when you see bike come in, try stop blow road. Boy, what happened to you? They laugh at me. I say, you all Haitians in my country. And, oh, who you call Haitian? Who you call? Man, the people get so aggressive. Nigga kick me on. I started to record him. Nigga kick me on my hand and everything. I kick the phone on my hand. Then I go and run to my bike like I get something. Man, they break off running. When they see I ain't get nothing, nigga go and get the cutlass. Another one pick up a big rock. I say, boy, it's me in my head. You might as well try to kill me now in my own country. Right? Man, I go on and, I come back. But I ain't going to tell the rest of that, right? But at the end of the day, boy, these Haitian bigoty. And they ain't playing trying to take over. They come to take over. And they coming in hundreds and hundreds. Every day you see a new 5 to 10 new Haitians. And at the end of the day, the Bahamian people, you know why I say Bahamian people are the most stupidest set of people in the world? The majority, because they got PLP and F&M being with for like all these years, and I never vote PLP and F&M in all my life. Last year I voted Lincoln Bean, right? The year last election. The first time I voted for 3 people. A blind woman, and she was deaf. I had the right hand to vote for her, right? Then I voted for an old woman. Her hand was bad. So I care about the poll, and I vote for her too, and I vote for myself. And I was voting for C.B. Moss when they stabbed him in the back, because I said I was the man for being down. I don't vote party. Party, don't care what you give me. I know brave them person will come into being down.
All right,
but
thank you, man. We got to get
party.
to the next person.
All right, man.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, man.
But hey,
He's a smart
coalition,
man.
that's a God move.
All right.
All the way.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. I respect the fact that he has a disability, but he's not making excuses. He's not on the corner begging. He is making life happen for himself. I respect you, bro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Lockhart.
Talking to Mike.
The grandson of Captain Victor Lockhart. This evening, I'm armed and dangerous. Last election, I voted for this young man because I think he is very serious about this situation. And I think we need to take this very serious. The country is in trouble. People in Pinewood, you need to come out and support this young man. Last election, I voted for him. I believe I was right then, and I believe I'm right now. Let's do it. Lincoln being the first president of the Bahamas, let's do it.
Good night, ladies and gents. Good night, Mr. President. How you doing, sir? Good night to one and all. I know myself voting for the FNM and the PLP. I vote for Sir Lyndon Pinland 3 times. I vote for Hubert Ingram 2 times. I vote for Perry Christie 1 time. Okay? I vote for Menace 1 time. I vote for Philip Brave Davis 1 time. I'm doing for 52 years, because I'm 68 years old. I never see they do nothing for the downtrodden. And most of us in this country, we see ourselves not going anywhere because we follow party lines. That's what we believe. We believe in the rums and the liquor and what you could give me and so on. We don't believe in looking at the future and looking way beyond. You see? And I wasn't even interested in talking about COI. I said, man, let me stay with the PLP, man. Till last election, my wife, she voted COI and she convinced me. And a lot of things what I heard Mr. Lincoln being said, all of that opened my eyes to a lot of things to understand that this man, he mean business. And the struggling with what I see this man went through, like how he says the Randall Fox, this mentor and some things what I see, no leaders, never going through what he went through. And all of that show me that this is the man that I have to give my support to. But during the time, it was a 2-party system. I'll leave you at the DNA. But Brandon McCartney, I didn't see him going nowhere. But what I see this leader here do, I would even say, but I'll leave that as that. And I know him long time, from Miles Monroe time. And he come up underneath Miles Monroe. And I know he's a true leader because looking at him and for what he do, he showed that. He ain't only talk that. He proved that by his action. He do that. And that's why they're afraid of him, because he even challenged them to let's have a debate. Let's meet one-on-one. But they are so afraid because they are scared right now. They don't know exactly what to do. But like I say, they COI all the way.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Respects to the leadership, the panelists, and all of you that are here. My name is Kirk Farrington, and I am the candidate for Southern Shores. Now, I am here. I normally won't say anything. I just observe. But I am pressed to say something today. What I want to say is directed towards the Christian community. Nobody wants to address this, but we have too many Christians sitting down, seeing what's going on, knowing what's going on, talking about what's going on, and all they're saying, we got to pray, God got this. We got to pray, God got this. Leave it to God. Leave it to God. I don't see that in the Bible. I don't see that in the Bible. What I saw in the Bible as I read the Bible from the Old Testament through is that who you call God? Well, I say Yahweh. So, if I say Yahweh, God, okay. Yahweh would say to the children of Israel, remember the children of Israel in Egypt, and they were oppressed by the Egyptians. And they cried, and they cried, and they cried unto him. He heard their cry. He raised up a Moses to bring the children out into the promised land. Now, watch the strategy and watch the movement. He gave instructions to go in different territories and take the land. There were times that he said to them, I give you this land. Okay? But they had to get up and fight. I'm speaking to the Christian community. They had to get up and they had to fight to take the land. And there were times where Yahweh said to them, wipe out everyone. Wipe them out, even the animals. Destroy them. I give you the land. Destroy them. They had to do that if they were to possess the land. We call this nation a Christian nation. But when I look at this nation and people, I see a people that are cowards. We speak faith, but we don't live faith. We don't do faith. And yet we want to be delivered. Yet we want our land. Yet we want what is ours. But if you want what is yours, it's time to get up from praying and take action and take the land. I sit back many times when we were called and the call was to go downtown. I believe that if this nation, including the believers, would all stand together and say, I ain't going to work. I am going downtown because I want my land back. I have got to take this land from my children and my grandchildren, come hell or high waters. And if this nation of people would take that stand and go downtown and block out Bay Street, no vehicle could pass on Bay Street, no police force can touch them, no defense force can move them, no government can shake them, and it will go international and they will take the land because the international world will let the government know they got to step down. But why isn't it happening? Because we have too many chickens. We have too many scary people calling themselves Christians, sitting down and saying, God got this, God can do this. But let me tell you something. God ain't gonna do nothing. No matter how you fast and pray, he ain't gonna do nothing. Because if anything is gonna be done, he needs to do it through you. And if you sit down, he can't do it. He needs you to stand up and he will work through you to bring down the government and set up who he wants to set up. Now I'm speaking to the community of the Christian folk who's sitting down and just praying and not want to stand and do anything. When the righteous rule, that means when the righteous is in authority, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. But what's happening in this nation? Weeping and gnashing of teeth because of oppression. That's what's happening in this nation. But the people of Yahweh, the church, the believers, the faith people has got to stand and move and walk through this land, walk before government and take this land back. And that's all I want to say. Yahweh bless this nation.
You got to put it higher. So I just wanted to say a couple things this evening. Mr. Leader, we have to have live, televised, on social media, debates between the heads of all the parties before we vote. And the people should generate the questions. So you should call for a debate. And if your leader of your party doesn't want to debate, you should be very scared. So I was motivated to speak real quick with the young lady, and I want to have her who spoke understand we need to bring back being proud to be a Bahamian. When I travel, my accent, that don't change at the airport. You see a Jamaican travel, you don't change his accent. So we need to bring back being proud to be a Bahamian. If a $1 billion investor comes here who's building a $1 billion project, But Mr. Leader, he can't afford our labor. He needs to find some third world, fourth world labor. So he don't really got the $1 billion, does he? You need to go. Obviously, you too broke to build something here. Yep. And thinking about what I heard as a theme, we don't have the skilled people to do it, so we got to bring people in. 52 years later, one government, there's only been one government. One government has failed for 52 years to skill us. And not just skilled labor to build a building. We should have been skilled labor in technology. I'll leave you with this thought, because the leader said to give 1 acre of crown land to every citizen. Well, give me 1,000 young people. That's 1,000 acres in Andros. And let's go build the world's most newest tech city, smart city, carbon neutral city, with all of the overhead transportation. You see, this is not something that is a theory. Didn't we do it in Freeport in 1950? We built the newest city in the hemisphere. It's still the newest city in the hemisphere. It's just rotting. But it's under control, and we know what happens in Grand Bahama. So we go to Andros, and we build a new city with 1,000 young people, or 10,000, and they own the city. So when someone comes from, hypothetically, Taiwan to build the world's fastest computer chips there, we the owners, not Hutchison. And that's how you fix the Bahamas. And that's how you get the real change and betterment for the young people. So if you don't want that acre of land, then you're not helping yourself. You all have a good night. And tell them they've failed. 50 years, you've not built one city, one hospital. You failed. We have 700 islands, and you couldn't build 6 cities? And all over the Emirates, what cities they built? Doha, Qatar. Come on. Thank you for listening.
Good night, everybody. Julie Swaby. I am shocked that I'm up here myself. My father got his construction business shut down in the first administration because he was no one to play with. He was very confrontational. And my father could not afford to feed 6 children. My mother had to go back to work. There were days when we had nothing to eat. Nothing. And you know, back in the day, what happened in your home stayed in your home. No one knew. I don't know how the lights stayed on. My brother's godmother encouraged my dad to relocate us to Texas. Oh, when I graduated from SAC, I couldn't get a job because my father's picture was in literally every business. And when I went in, the job was available. But when I applied and they saw my father's name on the application, the job was no longer available. When I went off to university, my whole family relocated to Houston. And when I came home, I was downtown, and when I saw the Prime Minister, I walked out of John Bull, and I waited for him to approach me. And he said, "Young lady, and who may you be?" I said, "Julie Thompson." I said, "Kenneth Thompson is my father, and because of you, I couldn't get a job. I was 15 years old, and I couldn't get a job on this island." Whew. When we graduated from university, I told my mom I'm coming home. By this time, they allowed Bob Marley to come into our country. The drug scene was on. Mommy say, what are you going home for? I said, if we keep leaving home, who is going to be here to build the nation? I came home 42 years ago. Every week, every day, I said, God, what am I here for? For 42 years, I prayed. Not until Philip Davis went in to power, whatever you want to call it. A burden dropped on me like never before. Listen, I say to the Lord literally every day, if I am the only woman standing for this nation in prayer, no devil in hell is going to take my nation. This is my beautiful Bahama land. This belonged to my 3 children and my 3 grandchildren. My children, they say, Mommy, we ain't coming back here because it ain't nothing to come for. My daughter, qualified, overly qualified, and they want to offer her pittance. Pastor Miles said, it is not what you are living for. It is what you're willing to die for.
Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Evangelist Johnson, but I'm known as Sister J. You know? And you know, as I stand here today, I stand here just thanking God for many years. I was working for government, let's put it like that. And you know, I thank God for Mr. Lincoln Bain, you know. And when I look at Mr. Lincoln Bain, I've been around from, what the first name was, Sovereignty? The first party, and then we was on R.M. Bailey Park, and then you went and you came back, and we were COI, you know, and then my friend, Mr. Blacklist, and the gentleman, Mr. Constitution, you know, I always was interested in the Constitution, so I took up a course with Justice Joan Sawyer, and then many years ago, but maybe 15 years ago, we did a class on the Constitution. And I think that's one of the greatest danger that they did to the Bahamian people. Because at that time, if we didn't know about the Constitution, but the things that he's telling us now, it would have been someone rise up before him that would have been speaking on these issues today. But the Bahamian people, our leadership did us a great injustice on what they did. They kept the Constitution out of the reach of the Bahamian people. Now, I don't know, I tell him I don't know everything about the Constitution, and I don't know everything about the Bible. But I tell you one thing for sure, I will give anybody a run, because I know common sense when I see it. And right now, I speak to the generation like me. I'm half for 120, if you can figure that one out. You understand? And I've been downtown on many a march. When he speak about the plaque, concerning the book of Proverbs, when a good government in power, the people smile, and when a bad government in power, the people weep. I've been carrying that banner for years. Glory be to Almighty God. I've been carrying that for years. I was the woman that stand in the front of the Prime Minister's office, glory be to God, with a sword. It was just a cardboard, but it was a sword and a shield. And I tell him, come out, because I want to do something to him. But he didn't come out. You know what I mean? Because I was going to show him what you do with a sword and a shield, because I am ready for battle. You see, like the man of God, the president said, a man of God also said, I spent many years in the United States of America, and I travel all over the Israel and all. Being there and getting one fight in Israel. I know how I get no fight in Israel, but I got into one. You know what I mean? Because I ain't going nowhere where they can push me around. Don't put me to the back of the line when I don't reach to the front. You see what I'm saying? Because I say, we Bahamians, when we travel, we don't go broke. So respect me for the money what I bring here. You know what I'm saying? And so listen here. I tell the Bahamian people now it's time to rise up. How long are we going to stay between so many opinions? Like the man of God said right there, you know, I ain't scared. Sometimes I get into fight, and when I come out, I look like a zebra because I be all marked up, but at least I could say I been in a fight. How many of y'all could say y'all been in a fight? You know what I'm saying? And far as being a coward, glory be to God, that's my word. You know what I mean? The worst thing I hate to see is a man with is a coward, and I could see a woman with scared. Because I tell you the other day, last year I went on the park, and I know God sent me on the park, and when I reach it, they tell me I have no church on the park, but 17 niggas, I tell them I ain't leaving. I say I just ain't leaving. This ain't y'all park, this God park, and you can tell me I got to leave. Well, to the end of it, I heard one guy say, you know, she right, and I say, I know I right, so we can have church right here on the park. So I call on the Bahamians now, like myself. We need to rise up. What do we want for our children? The same thing over and over and over again. The same just PLP, F&M, PLP, F&M. We can't get nothing done in our own country. Every body come here and prosper but us. What sense do this make? You know what I'm saying? We ain't tired of being in the same position. We ain't tired of seeing our children in the same position. You know, it's a sin, glory be to God. The Bible says when you die, you need to leave something for your inheritance. We allowing everybody to come from Timbuktu and come here and they could do something. I saw on Long Warford night, I was out there, and this gentleman said, come here. He was standing there, and I said, what's the problem? He said, you see that stall right over there? I said, what stall? He said, right over there. Well, I didn't ever get to see the stall, but he said, right over there, so I look. You know what I'm saying? But he said that a gentleman, a Haitian guy, came to him and asked him to buy his stall, and he tell him no. The next thing you know what happened? He had the stall. I put that on my voice note. You see, I made voice note over the years, and they've been telling me all the time. It's like one day I wake up, I had a double row teeth, and the next day I wake up, eat a piece of meat, and I had one teeth. The teeth drop out. How long are we going to stand by one day and look around and see that our nation is gone? This is a time now we got to do away with the Esau spirit. This is a time now we got to rise up. How are we going to know if we're going to win a fight if we never get in the fight? I have a problem with that. And your age doesn't say you can't do nothing. Even if you get into a fight and you throw a blow and you spin right around until you fall down, at least you spin down and you fall down. But you ain't doing nothing. Now this gentleman, God has called Mr. Lincoln Bain for such a time as this. Miss Charlotte Green and Mr. McGyver and all the rest of them. But it's a part of this team. We have to unite. Not only that, like Mr. Randall Fox said, either we unite or perish. We have writers that write, Mr. Blacklist right here. He have a beautiful book out. That he a black male, he have written. We have to learn. We have to learn. You know what I'm saying? We have to gather. This is a time now with the COI. If we don't do something, dog eat our lunch. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, like I always say on my voice note, I believe we have the winning ticket. We have the winning ticket, but we have to believe that we have the winning ticket. We have to throw ourselves behind Mr. Lincoln Bain. Like I said to the girl the other day when we was talking to the COI, I said, listen here, let me give you a parable. And before you meet your husband, you decide that some things in him you didn't like, but when you look at it again, he was good married in material, so you marry him. We all have something in our lives. I say, so I'm telling you right now, vote for the COI. And then after you don't vote for us, if you don't like us, you got to vote for us next election. But you cannot judge us if we never been in Parliament. We have to speak plain. And so when I tell people, I say, guess what? We have never been in Parliament. So how can you say we're going to do this and we're going to do that when we was never given a chance? So I call on the Bahamians out there, the senior citizens like myself, the young and the old and the in-between. Give the COI a chance to sit in Parliament. And then if you are not pleased with the work that we have done, then you speak against us. But nobody can speak against the COI because we have never sat in Parliament. So now I call on all of those. I call on the Bahamian people to rise up for the good of this country. May the scales be... Now I starting to preach. May the scales be taken off our eyes. May we step forward, glory be to God. How long are we going to stay between two opinion, Bahamian people? Get rid of the being cowards and stand for him. And let's go ahead and make the Mr. Lincoln Bain the next Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Let's be able to get our natural resources and enjoy it. Let's be able to get our land and maybe we can have some generational wealth for our children. Let's do it, Bahamians. Why should everybody enjoy this land and we have nothing? So I call on you all tonight. Let's unify as a body. We only have two houses, you know. One house is the Bahamas, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is our biggest house. And the other house we have is the home that we live in. And if we cannot take care of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, how can we take care of the house that we live in? I call on the Bahamian people to rise up and do what is right in this season. It doesn't have anything to do with hate. But it comes that you have to look out for, you have to look out for. And everybody else now is taking care of their country. And it's time now that we rise up as a people. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. I want great word. All of you in Abaco watching this, I know there's probably hundreds of you all in Abaco watching this. Our Abaco headquarters is going to be opened on, North Abaco headquarters is going to be opened on Saturday. It's right in Dundastown, next to the Daystar Church on the front road in Dundastown. So that's the front road in Dundastown, right next to the Daystar Church. So we're going to be there. So just look on. So it's Friday. Oh, sorry about that. I said Saturday. It's Friday on the 18th. Sorry about that. So it's Friday. So we're going to be there. You know the time? So that's Friday at 7 p.m. We're going to be there. So we can be there in full force. Our leadership team is going to be there. And we're going to be opening our North Abaco headquarters. COI ain't playing. Nope. All right. So, and it's much, much more to come. All right, so just stay tuned. We'll get there. To that person, I think it was Graham who asked about the debate. Yes, of course, we are going to demand a debate from Pintard and Brave Davis. And guess what? They could give them all the questions. And they could give them all the answers. And they could let them write it on paper. And they could bring the paper. I don't need the questions or the answers. I'll just show up. And we'll see what they got. All right? So just to encourage them to come, give them the question and answers. And we'll see what happens from there. All right? Because I think they need it. They need it. Yeah. But Pindad is an actor, so he can memorize some stuff. So he should be good for that. I don't know. He's the only actor I see have to read off paper. All right.
Go ahead. All right, good evening. I just wanted to take a moment to plug in. For all of our candidates here tonight, can we have all of the candidates stand? Just so you can be recognized and so that we can get some of you to join your actual candidate. That's how we can get this done. We got to hit the road. Definitely, let's have you all stand at this time. And in order for Lincoln to become the president, we need to vote up and down the ticket for the COI for every candidate. There's got to be COI up and down the ticket in every constituency. Start getting out there, promoting your candidate, promoting the COI. Let's do this. Work together. Come, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's really a pleasure to be here tonight. It's really a joy. Mr. Prime Minister on the board. On the board. I ain't scared. They're nervous, but they ain't scared. My name is Franklin Bryce. I born in 1966 to Woods Alley of Market Street. And, my daddy died in 73, Sadie Bryce. My mother died 2010, just died. After my mother died, I realized life is serious. Because all I do is lean on mommy. Mommy gone. I used to work at Patelco. I get hired in 1985. I've been in an accident in 85. 90. Anyhow, I was in an accident. The driver was driving the truck, was speeding. I hang out the truck. I tell him, stop speeding. He tell me, oh man, you're making 14. And when I went back in the back of the truck and sit down, that's all I remember. I wake up in the hospital, a lady praying over me, say, boy, you know they survived you? You was dead. I said, yeah. So I spent a month and the rest in the U.S. In 92, when I came in Nassau, my union rep, well, Shane Gibson, it was Shane Gibson, and after Shane sell us out, Robert Faxon take over. We go downtown and we beat downtown bad. But Paul Chalk is the strongest old Patelco. We beat downtown bad. I read up Hubert Ingram. We read him right up. He come in the crowd like we want to talk to him. We read him up. They lock up some of us. We went by the bridge. We closed the bridge. We was the strongest union ever. Tell Shane Gibson sell us out. And I ain't scared to say that. He ain't take care of me. I pay union dues and I've been accident, part, and I ain't get no money yet. They sell Patelco, they ain't give me nothing. Nothing. That's why I give up. I say, anyhow, I can wait until Lincoln Bay win this one, and then I can and see what I can get. I know I can get it. It was the first time I hear this gentleman talk, and I listen to him very careful. And I listen and I listen. And then he went on Steve McKinney's show. If I can't hear Steve McKinney's show every day, I go crazy. They call me, I used to ask. I Lincoln ask. Excuse my expression. But if I can't hear from Lincoln, I get crazy. If he don't come on the radio, I run everybody from around me. I want to hear from him because you know why? He's speaking sense. And if you're a good, grown behavior, you listen. When these PLP and FNM come, what they saying? The same thing over and over. Or the new day, or this day, that day. What I learned from that? Then loyalty. Reaganites was coming out from Pillen time. Pillen all fool us. He never learned us, tell us about it. Every last one of them. You know what Pillen say? Keep them poor and they'll always follow you. All of them come with that. Keep them poor. Long as you get the pain on them. I live in Fox Hill. I don't know how Fred Mitchell get there. But my daddy was Zeddy Bryce. George Mackey, I don't know if there's family or whatever, but it's close. Because before George Mackey died, he tell me, oh, vote for Fred. I didn't know the difference. I voted that one time. But after that, last election, I voted for Lincoln. I don't vote for no one else. I vote for Lincoln. My wife told me, when you see me going to poll, and she going to poll, she better vote for Lincoln or she get put out. I put out. Listen. I can put my wife up what God give me. I'll put her out. And what I know, Bahamian people really don't recognize, Mr. Ben, whenever you win this house stuff first day, you know you got plenty things to do. You get deal with these lawyers. I came back to the hospital. I was trying to get lawyers. And I had lawyers. When ladies fell asleep on Pinewood, the highway in the back there, I run head on into me. I just come to the hospital 3 days after. I had 3 spine surgery. The lady run head on to me. She dropped asleep. I had a lawyer. I ain't call no name. And when I went to that lawyer, the lawyer, oh man, these people ain't want to come up with nothing. They ain't saying nothing. They just say that. Only they offered me $6,000. I said, Behrman, $6,000. These same lawyers who's Behrman's. $6,000. This woman ran to me, and they only pay me for the car. And that wasn't even enough money. I went to the hospital, me and her gone in the same ambulance. The same ambulance. Ladies and gentlemen, this is serious, you know. I get a lawyer, I put a gentleman who I was working with last in labor board. The lady swing me, and the gentleman pay off, mercy, because she tell me if I have no money for her to go in the tribunal, she ain't taking the case. But she didn't on the case because we didn't have a meeting on Robson Road. So the gentleman tell her now, yeah, he broke. You for to tell him something. And you know you owe this lawyer $400 and she ain't come for that yet. So she didn't get paid off. So my life just, God is good though. I tell you one thing, God don't play. He's get me scared. When ladies come pray for me and that come true, I get scared. But that's how powerful God is. He don't leave you undone nothing. Because I was strong from that time to now. No matter what wall I run into, whatever happened to me, I tell people, man, I want to let God get that.
All right.
And it has happened.
Yeah, man.
You know, so, you know, my time gone, but you have a nice day.
Thank you, man.
I think that ends our town hall session for right now. We're going to just kick it back to our leader and the panel. Mr. Bain, take it away.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we know the solution for immigration. Right now, it's not going and begging the politicians anymore. We done passed that. We are going to march to the polls. And he is trying to line up his people to march them to the polls. We got to march more of us to the polls than he is marching of them. We got to defend this country. This country is for us and people who love this country, people who are willing to build up this country. And so we got to fight. And so we are going to fight by getting out there and spreading the message. We can do this. We can make this happen. It's going to take work. And so get in your prospective constituencies. We have our office here where you can come again 9 to 5 every weekday. And I guess by this week, we're going to set up a 24-hour line. You ever had a party with a 24-hour line? Yeah, you can call 24 hours a day, and you're going to be able to speak to a person. All right? And you can get in touch with your MP or leave a message for your candidate, etc. And that's 24 hours a day. Oh, yeah, we're doing this different this time. And like I said, you ain't talking to no machine. You're going to be talking to a person. You wake up 1 o'clock in the morning, and you call and set your appointment, leave your message. We'll have someone answer the phone 1 o'clock in the morning. All right? And so we doing this different. We going all out with this. They ain't never seen a war like what we bringing to them. We can bring this. We can bring this. All right? So this week on Friday, we'll be in Abaco, and we have some more openings. So for the next 3 weeks, we're going to do the live to a live studio audience just like this. We're going to let you have your say. Like I said, next week we're talking about crime. First week in August, I got to take a break. Got to make sure material and getting school and everything is set. Y'all got me all year. All right, so I can take 1 week, and then we'll get back to work. All right? But for the next 3 weeks, we could be here live in studio. Let's come and let them feel us. Come and learn, get educated. Sit here, let your voice be heard, get your questions answered. You have a lovely headquarters that is here for you every single day. By next week, our studio should be fully set up. But this is yours. We cannot let what is happening continue to happen. This is serious. I don't want you all to take this lightly. They are positioning themselves to take this country. And our own politicians are selling them out. But I'm not going to let that happen. Before we end, I have to just give respect to our deputy and our chairman if they want to say something. You good? Deputy, chairman, you want to say something?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to our panelists. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We truly appreciate it. The education, we could never, ever stop learning. So thank you so much, and I hope that we see you again on our panel. So thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I listened to all of the statements and comments made, especially the last person that came up. You know, most of us laughed, but I think that, you know, we are a fun people, but we need to get to a place where we take these things serious. You know, he said some things, but through it all, I could see the pain, and I could feel the pain. And it's imaginable how many people in their house are going through these things. Some people can't even take it. He was going through this for so long. Someone would have already jumped off the bridge. So I am calling on all of our people to band together. Let's take the issues of our country serious. Let's be there for each other. Like Minister Charmaine said, support your candidates. And if you are not a member of this organization and you support the movement, I ask you to come under the banner. Sign up as a change agent of this country. We are going to make history in this country, and you would want to be counted as part of the person that is going to bring the change that this nation has never seen before. So once again, thank you for coming out. I hope to see you out next week as we speak about crime in our country. So thank you very much.
All right, and we got some sauce. I think it's sauce, eh? Size and okay, we got some sauce, etc. You can take it out, or you can just hang out. We'll be here. Say again. Oh, chairman is making sure I get it right. You're making sure my guests have any closing words that they might want to say.
I just want to thank
Mike. Get on.
It's on?
Yeah.
I just want to thank God for being here this evening. I also want to thank Mr. Lincoln Bain and the COI for inviting me. I have one closing message for the Haitian diaspora. Haitian San, Bahamian San Mem, Haitian constitutional la loi, different passé, Bahamas constitutional la loi. Obéis, Bahamas constitutional la loi. Obéis, Bahamas citoyen la loi. Premier Davis, Paboum. Premier Davis, tête fou, parlez fou. Paboum. Il malade. Immigration, Conseil Bahamas, criminal. Il malade. Bahamas. God bless. Continue.
Well, I want to thank Brother Bain for allowing me to be here this evening. The thing is, Bahamians, we've been playing for 52 years. That is too long. If you have given people an opportunity to prove themselves and they have not done it, there's only one alternative to that. One alternative. That's why I asked two major questions about the constituency and about the national issues that affect us as a country. And there has never been anyone who has been able to tell me what has happened in that constituency to benefit them, what has happened to the nation. See, it's no point having a government or having a representative and there are no benefits. That doesn't make any sense. So we have seen what has happened. All we have to do is now take the appropriate action. That's why I always tell people, if you stick with your Holy Bible, you stick with your Constitution, you cannot go wrong. It's just as simple as that. Thank you very much and have a pleasant evening.
Amen. Awesome. Awesome. I have some stakeout tickets here to give away. These are $20 stakeout tickets for the Coalition of Independence Women's Association stakeout. That's going to be on August 4th. I guess that's August Monday. That's on the holiday. So I got, that's what? That's your birthday? Okay, well, one for you. One for you. So these tickets, oops, y'all, heads up, heads up. Yeah, y'all catch, y'all catch. Oh, yours there, okay. Yeah, y'all catch. Oh, she come for hers. Well, I can't tell you no. Huh? Oh, you want something to sell? Well, I ain't selling. All right. One more. All right. they mad at me because nothing going over here. Okay. I can get you a ticket. All right, just remind me, one for you. All right. Say, not a one going over there. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It's time to get to work. How we're going to end this immigration crisis is to change the PLP and the F&M. It's simple as that. So see you all next week, Sunday at 5 p.m. Thank you so much. God bless you.